And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys for joining ABL Live. My intro was crazy, but I messed it up. We're going to keep on going. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to ABL Live. I'm your host, Anthony Brown Logan, and we got a whole lot going on tonight. What is happening? We got the Iran deal. Now, I'm not super excited about that. They say, hey, we got a deal, but there's been so many deals. I'm like, okay, let's get the actual results of the deal. Let's see what the deal has in it. Let's see what the deal is going to give. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Juneteenth has happened on yesterday, federal holiday, and there's a lot of controversy, but there's always controversy about this holiday every single year. Most people don't know about it. They didn't know the origin, so I'm here every year to explain, to educate. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Karmelo Anthony, we got some new video about that. I didn't want to cover the story too much more until there was an appeal process and he beat it or didn't beat it. But of course, there was so much that came out. I had to address it. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have an illegal alien who was trying to blow up the UFC event at the White House on Sunday, June 14th, 26. Now, clearly, this was thwarted by our great intelligence in the USA. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got the World Cup happening all over the USA. Shout out to all the visitors having a grand old time, eating our big back snacks. Don't gain 500 pounds when you go back home. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Obama's presidential center, not library, has opened. What's going on with that? Who was there at the grand opening? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank you again for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot happening all over the interwebs. We got some Karmelo video, a little bit of everything. Now, I'm going to speak on that video just briefly, then I'm going to keep on going with what we got happening. Oh, I'm sorry for not being here Wednesday, but I injured myself. Look, I'm getting old. It's not really an injury. I had like a pinched nerve on my hind parts, like right up under my leg. So I got a pinched nerve, so I couldn't really sit down for extended periods of time. I was always on my feet, walking around, doing stuff like that on that day. I feel pretty good right now. It's still kind of like, hey, I'm just, you know, when you get a little bit older, you try to exercise and do like strenuous physical activities. Okay, you trying to hop out of your truck bed like you 16 and you land and your bones say you 42 years old about to be. So, but I feel good though. It was just, I didn't feel comfortable sitting down for a long period of time. And now it's kind of cool. So my picture is skipping. What's going on? If my picture is messed up, please let me know. Y'all let me know if the picture is skipping or if everything's good to go. It should be good. I don't see why it would be anything else. All right. Now I ain't going to stand up for 7 hours. I mean, not 7 hours. I ain't going to stand up for 3.5, 4 hours. I do that enough on my Instagram stream. And shout out to you guys during the Instagram stream on Tuesday. I appreciate y'all for that. But yeah, I ain't going to do the show standing up. And then plus, just not really, I'm not going to do that. Not for this. All right. And thank you, you guys like the camera. So the camera for you guys, a lot of you guys are asking. I put out a short, and if you guys enjoyed that, y'all let me know in the comment section of that short. But I was getting emails about the camera and the lighting, so I figured, okay, I may make one video to answer all the questions I was getting. So all that I did, as you may have seen in my short, was I added one light right there. So I got this softbox right here. That's the only light that I added. I had a softbox back in the day, but it wasn't quite this one. This is a much better softbox from newer. The ones I had back in the day were just kind of just like, I don't know, it wasn't the same. And I have one of my lights from previous right here. So let me show you. Okay, nothing is skipping. Everything looks good. All right, cool. So this light right here, you're going to see it turn off. I can control this electronically. See? Now that is just for that extra light right there on my face. You see how it makes a difference? When you put the lights together, it just kind of all adds up. I got a light right here, what they call a tube light. I call it a stick light. Light right there, and then that one. So that's the only thing I changed was this light. The camera has been the exact same for years. I've not changed the camera at all. I have other cameras. I just don't use them. I have one camera I used one time when this went out. A lot of you guys probably remember the Canon PowerShot V10 is like a small travel camera. I use that for some of my shorts. When I'm filming in front of my flag, standing up, I use that one for that. I also have a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I have that for when I do my vlogging series and things of this nature. I have that for that. And I've also used it to do Instagram lives and short videos, short reaction videos on Uncle ABL. So I have different cameras for different situations, but this one has been the same for a long time. All that I did was just change my light. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Okay. Hopefully everything's good with the video. All right, I'm just reading some of this here. Yeah, hopefully everything's good with the video. But we got a whole lot going on. The Iran deal, a lot of you guys are asking me about that. I'm not super excited about that because there's always a deal. There's always a thing that we're trying to accomplish over there. And it appears to be an ongoing process. It won't be a thing where it's like, okay, we said we have a deal. They released white smoke or whatever that was from the White House. Okay, right before the UFC event. That's fine. But wake me up when we actually have a resolution, when it comes to an end. It's a bunch of back and forth. It's a bunch of extra stuff that I don't really care too much about because ultimately it doesn't really lead anywhere. It's like watching some of these podcasters. It'd be like Dragon Ball Z. On the next episode of, it's like, okay, can I get a conclusion to this story arc or no? Are we going to extend it for 1,000 more episodes? That's the kind of the way I feel about the whole Iran kerfuffle. All I'm worried about is them finally opening the Strait of Hormuz, opening the Strait of Hormuz, getting the oil and natural gas and everything else through there, rather than making it be a toll booth or something weird or a toll booth, a minefield, rather than it being that, just open it back up normally and get things back to status quo. That's what I'm concerned about. Until we have that, wake me up when we have it. That's how I feel. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. So the whole Iran thing, we'll talk about that though, because there was some things that they were saying. But they said what in the ceasefire, they said it was a memorandum of something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A MOU, a memorandum of understanding. It's like, all right, what is that? It's like an HR term. Like we're not dealing with no HR terms. You're talking about people getting their heads chopped off. We need to, bring that to an end. Get the minefields out of the water. I don't need the memorandum of understanding. I understand that we need lower gas prices. I understand that we need to get this thing back rocking and rolling. That's what I understand. So until we have that, then I'm not really super enthused. Okay. I have seen the Walmart tours videos. Yes, I have. I have some of those videos. I don't know if I have any Walmart tours videos specifically, but I have some videos about some of the tourists coming here for the World Cup. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get one up right quick because I did see that. I'll show you guys a Walmart tours video. I see quite a bit of chatter in the comments. That must signal some kind of interest. So let me go ahead and just throw that in the mix for you guys. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, shout out to all the visitors, all the World Cup people here in the USA, really enjoying where they are, really enjoying what we have to offer as a country. And the treatment of you guys is going to be good. Listen, the way we are in America, despite what they want to tell you on television, to all the foreigners who may be visiting or may be somewhere else, we're really good people. Now, of course, you're going to have some ne'er-do-wells. You're going to have some criminals, things of this nature. But your regular, average, everyday person is nice and they're hardworking and they're going to treat you right. So when you go to these places, you're going to get tip-top service. They're going to be very respectful and you're going to have a good time. Now, I will say something, though, to my Europeans especially. I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and, start tipping at the restaurants because that's part of our culture. Okay, now I understand that's not really part of your culture where you're from, but it's part of our culture here to tip. Now, what we could do, if you think that tipping is not something that you should do, is just charge you more. If you're going to be a non-tipping tourist, we could just charge you 20% extra on GP. I mean, they already started doing that in a lot of places. In a lot of these cities, they're giving you 20% gratuity off the rip. Now, the problem with that is you might be losing some of the monies you would get from a bigger tipper. Like if I got to pay 20% off the rip, I'm less likely to tip beyond that. But normally I would tip beyond that. But if I already see the tip is taken out, then y'all got it. Y'all straight. That's kind of the way I feel. Although I still kind of feel guilty. I got that black guilt, right? The black guilt says, oh, they think we don't tip. So let me just go ahead and just give you $100 on a $100 bill. I'm that guy. I really am. I am that guy. I sure am. I keep cash in my pocket for no other reason than the tip. I don't pay cash nowhere else but the tip. I be like, hey, take that cash. Don't pay no tips. No tax on tips. Put that in your pocket. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell the federales nothing. And don't tell them I told you, because matter of fact, as far as the feds know, I was never here. Don't worry about it. Keep the money in your pocket. That's the way I feel. But when I see you already got the 20% taken out from the beginning, I'm like, okay, you got it. Don't worry about it. That's the way I feel. But yeah, to my European brothers and sisters and from all over the world, wherever you're from Africa, Asia, wherever, please tip the restaurant workers. If you don't tip, then we're just going to charge you more. So we're going to get the money one way or the other. Like this ain't, you know what I'm saying? You got to, when the Rome do as the Romans. But they've been very good beyond that. They've been very good. The Scottish, the Japanese, everybody, they clean up after themselves. They're orderly. They're not causing mischief. They're not out here committing crime. So that's what when we say, we're talking about immigration, we want good people. Okay. Now I know we may not be able to get the best of the best of the best of the best. Okay. If you are the top dog in Japan, why would you want to come to America? You already living large. You already have enough money to be able to come over here and not work for a month and watch soccer. If you can do that over here, you're probably good over there. So you may not necessarily want to live over here permanently. I get it. But if we can't get the top of the top to become immigrants here, can we at least get your mid-tier? Can we at least get like the little, we don't want the runt of the bunch. We don't want the runt of the bunch. We want some good men and women to come over here and become part of our society. That's what we want. We don't want your castaways, your ne'er-do-wells, your criminals. We don't want you to do the Cuban boat lift on us every time you send people to come live here. That's all we saying. That's why we got to have ICE to go out there and round them up. You're talking about the worst of the worst. We're not rounding up doctors and lawyers and engineers. We're not doing that. Okay, they can work at the hospital. Dr. Navarian, okay, at the hospital, he gonna be doing big back reductions for his whole life until he get to be 1,000 years old. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Dr. Now from the show, my fat life or whatever. Yeah, guys like that we want to come over here from Iran. He's Iranian, by the way. Shout out to him. You saw my video about Iran and he liked it, but different story. Anyway, we want guys like that over here. We don't want your common pickpocket to all of a sudden live in Arlington, Virginia. We don't want that. And I think I speak for us all when I say that. So shout out to all the tourists behaving nicely, behaving well, and enjoying themselves, enjoying the American culture for World Cup. And I was going to go to World Cup. I'm going to go to World Cup this week. I was going to go on Friday, but I still got my little. So I'm going to try to hit it tomorrow. And I got my tickets for Friday. So if you're in Atlanta, I'm going to go to the World Cup fan event at Centennial Park. I'll be there Friday, and you might see me tomorrow on Sunday. Okay, so either day you go, if you have tickets already to go either one of those days, you're going to catch me, and I'm really easy to find in the crowd. If I'm talking at all, you're going to be able to hear me. So shout out to you guys who are going to go to the events. And if you've gone to any World Cup events, the fan events or the games themselves, how was your experience? Did you enjoy it? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. But yeah, we're certainly going to get into it. We shall get into it. Now, what else we got going on? Okay. Now, I'm going to speak on Karmelo, then Juneteenth, because I want a little bit of time for Juneteenth, so y'all bear with me. Karmelo Anthony. So I don't want to keep talking about this. I don't want to be one of these guys that's making new videos every single day. I mean, y'all wearing it out, though. I mean, good grief. Like, the quartering, it's like, bro, I mean, at a certain point, you don't got nothing to talk about. There's no other interesting topics on the docket. It's just that all the time. 3 videos a day. I mean, good Lord, how much new content can there be? See, I come to y'all with things that are actually important that I actually care about. I ain't going to just content you to death because I'm just trying to, grift on it. I'm going to just give you things that you are really wanting to know about. The only reason why I did that video is because there was so much that came out and I already been covering it. So I felt obligated to go ahead and give you the update because it's substantial. It's not just some headline I read on the internet and then I do a video talking about it for 10 minutes and then that's the content. I feel like that's cheap. I'm robbing you of your time, and you guys are a smart audience. You understand what time is and how valuable it is. So you're not going to watch something that is a waste of your time. And if you do spend time watching it and it becomes a waste, now you have a bad taste in your mouth because you feel like you are being manipulated, you're being toyed with for money. And I don't do stuff like that. But I had to do this one because you guys had already been following my previous coverage. So here we are. And I saw you guys in the chat. I saw y'all in the comments. I unsubscribed, but I had to come back and see this one. Okay, don't worry about it. Hey, welcome back. Hey, if you unsubscribed and you're still watching me right now, listen, if you unsubscribe from my channel because you were upset at whatever it is, at the Karmelo video or this video or that video, if you unsubscribed and you can hear the sound of my voice right now as I speak, welcome back. It's okay. It's okay. I'm welcoming. I welcome you with open arms. It's like running away from your house. Okay, you packing your PlayStation and you packing your baseball glove and you're out and you come right back for dinner. It's okay. Don't worry about it. That's kind of the way I feel. But anyway, shout out to you guys who unsubscribing have come back. I appreciate everybody who may disagree, but still is open-minded enough to just hear me out and to see things from my perspective. The only thing about this is a cultural disconnect. That's the bottom line. There's no other way to say it, because in the black community, you don't touch people, put your hands on people, and then get to be the victim. We don't do that. That's the red flag. That's like that's something that anybody in any, I won't say any black area, because a lot of white guys feel the same way. A lot of white guys that I knew when I was coming up would feel the exact same way. They feel the same way. When you cross a line of putting your hands on people, then whatever happens to you is whatever happens to you. You can say that somebody did too much, but ultimately we cannot remove accountability from the initial aggressor, which is why in the great state of Tennessee, we have certain rules like the initial aggressor rule, which is why your boy Chud the Builder is going to the penitentiary, and the guy he attacked didn't even get charged because he was the aggressor. He was the one that he started the whole conflict. And I would say the same thing regardless of race. I get accused of being a racist. Me being a racist, I would never. Don't even make no sense. I feel like being a racist, being a person who says that somebody did something or they didn't do it just based on their race is retardation. And I'm not a retarded person. I'm a pretty intelligent guy. Okay. I didn't get to be right here where I'm at right now just because, I just get on the internet and just start talking. Nah, I take a certain level of intelligence to do what I do and to get to where I've gotten and to accomplish what I've accomplished in my life. You got to be a certain level of intelligent. So I'm not going to be the guy that says, well, this person, I don't think they did anything wrong, or I'm going to defend them because they're black. Now, if that was the case, then why didn't I defend Jordan Neely when the whole Daniel Penny kerfuffle happened on the train in New York? If it's about race, at a certain point, look at my previous history, my track record, and think to yourself, does it make sense for me to accuse someone of being a racist? Because look at his whole history. Is there any evidence of that there? Some may try to pull up cases they disagree with and say, oh, because I disagree with you there, then that means you're a racist. Is that what it means? Or is it because you can't agree with me? You can't wrap your head around my belief. So you have your own belief about why I believe what I believe to make it make sense in your brain. Since you can't rationalize it, it doesn't make sense to you. You make up your own reason and then attach myself to that. But that's just you and your own thinking, not me. Yeah, it's not a race thing. If it was the other way around with the races, I would say the exact same thing. And I'm going to stand on that. Anybody trying to debate, anybody can have their own opinion, and that's fine. But anybody trying to debate, I mean, for real, it don't even really matter. Have your opinion, and your opinion is important to you, just like mine is to me. But when we're trying to have a debate and you trying to convince me, it's like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but nothing you're going to say will convince me because I've seen what I've seen and I know what I know. And the principles and values that I was raised with, that kind of thing right there, nobody would take the side of the bully. Nobody takes the side of the abuser, the bully, the harasser. Even if you get locked up for doing something like that, nobody would be cheering for the person to get locked up. Nobody would be defending the bully after something happens to the. If your child is going to school bullying people and then something happens to him, people are going to say, oh, well, that's how it always was when I was young. That's how it always was. Now, I don't know about anybody else and where you're from, but I think a lot of that is cultural because you might have grown up in, I don't know, Pleasantville, USA, where it wasn't even no police officers or nothing like that. And, the town bully, the worst that happened is maybe he hit his mama, cuss him out. I don't know. I don't know what happens. But in my neck of the woods, doing something like that, nobody would give you any kind of excuses. Nobody would give you any kind of favor. Everybody would say it's your fault. And whatever you get is what you got and you earned it. Simple. But what I saw in the thing was really a fluke incident. I don't think that I never heard about nobody getting stabbed one time with a pocket knife and dying. I've never heard that before in my life. Like when I hear about a stabbing and somebody's dead, I'm thinking about something gruesome where it's multiple stab wounds, like a depraved act. Or, it might hit like a certain space, specifically the wrist or, something like that. I'm not thinking about this is enough to kill you. It was really just a fluke and it's really unfortunate. And rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. But that is not 35 years in prison. And the video shows he gets pushed, goes like that, and it's over with. That's not, I went to the track meet to try and kill this man. That's not what that was. Anyway, we can agree to disagree or we can agree. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to still say what I got to say regardless of what. If I lose every subscriber, I care not. All I care about is my integrity, period. Point blank. Don't care. Never cared. All right. Doc Venom says, just because you know nothing about anatomy and physiology there, ABL. Well, I know that it's not common for somebody to get stabbed one time with a pocket knife and die. I mean, what's that got to do with anatomy and physiology? There's nothing to do with it. It's just something that doesn't really happen. Okay, put it to you this way. Let's just put it in perspective, shall we? Okay, Chud the Builder out there in Clarksville, Tennessee, shot Joshua Fox, not one, not two, not three, but 5 times, and he didn't die. 5 times, and he didn't die. Kid gets stabbed one time with a pocket knife, and he dies. You see what I'm saying? Like that's improbable for that. If you were to tell somebody, if you were to ask someone a question, you got 2 people, one who got shot 5 times at like point blank range. The second got stabbed one time at point blank range and only one died. Who would have died? You would not pick the person who got stabbed one time. Logically, the probability don't even make sense. But anyway, like I said, I didn't already set my piece on it. I ain't trying to go back and forth and be squabbling about it. Anybody got a question, comment, concern, you want to troll me or something like that, you want to unsubscribe and still watch, it's totally fine. But just don't leave it on unrelated videos because I will ban you. All right. Austin was a bully. Hey, like I said, some see it as violent thug, just kill somebody because, he was in the tent. He was trespassing. I heard all kinds of stuff, man. And, let's go back. George Zimmerman. Zimmerman was just getting beat up by Trayvon. And let's go back to Zimmerman right quick. And then I'll move on. I promise I will. I promise I'll be done with this segment after this little throwback to Zimmerman. George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin, let me just get the story right. And if I'm wrong about anything, y'all let me know in the comments. If I'm factually wrong, not a matter of, I disagree with your opinion, ABL. If I'm factually incorrect about anything I'm going to say, you'll let me know in the comments. Trayvon Martin was staying with his dad in a residential area. He walks to the store. He gets Skittles and some, Arizona green tea, like little snacks from the store. As he's coming back, Zimmerman is like stalking him. Like he's walking down the sidewalk. Zimmerman is like kind of in the cut, trying to hide, trying to stalk him. Trayvon feel like he's trying to be like he's being followed, like he's being threatened by this guy that who doesn't know. He jumps out, attacks him. Trayvon does not have any arms, No knife, no gun, no weapon. He's just beating Zimmerman up. Zimmerman says, you know what? I'm getting beat up too bad. He's bashed my head up against the sidewalk. So I got to take my gun. I'm going to shoot him and kill him. And I beat the case. And then I go on an autograph tour. Oh, you did right, man. You got to get one of them, man, because they got on you. Am I right or wrong? Now, if that's okay, then why not this? I keep consistent. But anyway, thank you, Byron. Byron says, ABL, your opinion is valid. I am not going to unsubscribe. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But if you do unsubscribe, it's okay. If anybody unsubscribes, it's totally fine. You know, you got to go where you want to go. If you want to watch, you know what I'm saying, Netbeard YouTubers talk about this case all day, then it's fine. All right. Let me see. It was not premeditated, but it happened. Yeah, exactly. It was not premeditated. It's not premeditated. Everybody know that. But then that goes to the whole thing about murder. We're talking about murder. There needs to be some kind of intent, some kind of premeditation, some kind of aforethought, some kind of malice intent. That was not there. This was a fight that ended poorly, unfortunately. And I've seen it happen before. You know what? This is part of the reason why I'm not doing no squabbling with nobody. Hey, I'm on the phone with the police. I'm calling the cops. Because what I don't want to happen is somebody start a conflict with me and then I get in trouble. And I've had that happen like throughout my life where I get in trouble for something somebody else did. I got fired from my job one time at Old Country. I got fired from Old Country because the dude just wasn't doing right. Let me tell you what this guy did. This guy, I don't know, he might have been a little crazy. I saw him later, like in the Walmart, look crazy as he can be. I don't know what he got going on mentally, but it went all the way there. But when I worked there, I was like the leader of the back of the house. So anybody that come on, I'm going to train you right away, get you used to what you got to do back there. And I'm going to tell you how things go. And once you do it right, it's a well-oiled machine. You're able to get your job done well. I'm able to get my job done well. The restaurant is doing good. Anyway, we get a new guy who was, I don't know if he was a waiter or what. All he would do was just go get stuff from the back and put it back. He would get stuff from the front and then put it back in the back. He would do with the drinks and stuff. So he bring back racks of drinks. And what they got to do is put it off to the side because when they come in, sometimes we working and we can't really see what they're doing. So we tell them, yo, put the drink rack to the side. But he will always just refuse to listen to what I'm saying. And I'm bumping into it. So I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? You got to put the drinks to the side. It was always some kind of problem with this guy. And then he decided to just do it again right in front of my face. It's like, bro, now, come on. You're getting in the way. You're messing up. Now it's a confrontation. He shoves me. I shove him back lightly. I'm not trying to beat him up. I'm just trying to say, no, we're not going to do that. But there were some people outside because right by the little exit door is seating. So the dining room is like not that far away from the back of the house. It's a door right there. You can see right in the back where we at. So I'm pushing him. He pushing me. And it was a black couple. They told on us. I saw y'all black couple told on us. They told and said that I was getting into a fight and I get fired. As an adult, as an older adult, somebody that I know, a so-called friend of mine, when I try to threaten to sue me because of some stuff that was going on, you're aggressing upon me. And then when I return your aggression, all of a sudden you're talking about courts and lawsuits. See, you're starting stuff and then I'm the one to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't go find trouble. Don't bring trouble to me. Don't bring trouble to anyone. You see what I'm saying? I've never been locked up, never been arrested, nothing. The last thing I want to do is get locked up because some dweeb started with me. So you know what? Yeah, Mr. Officer White Man, you want to come down here and get this ragamuffin out of my face? Officer White Man, hey, matter of fact, what's your name? I'm streaming on Instagram. Hey, if I ever get into a little issue where it's looking like somebody might get beat up, I'm gonna stream on YouTube. I'll be like, hey, it's right now, guys. The time is happening. Get on the phone with your local authorities and tell them that ABL's in trouble. Because I'm not trying to get hemmed up because of some dope fiend acting the fool, or I got to go to court. I'm getting sued. I ain't got time for that. People like that, I hate. I totally hate. All right. But anyway, Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, hold on. James says this is a school event. The law has a different standard. Okay, so some of y'all have read the wrong. Some of y'all read the law incorrectly. Some of you guys think that bringing a knife to school is a felony in Texas. Well, that's partially true, but it's not true in this case, because when you're talking about a knife being a felony on school grounds in Texas, it must be a restricted location knife. This is not all knives. This is knives with a blade beyond 5.5 inches. And the blade that Karmelo had was 3.5 inches. So this is shorter than the minimum to make it be a felony. The knife he had is legal to carry in Texas. Anywhere. It's prohibited on school grounds, but that does not make it illegal. Legally. If you bring a cell phone, matter of fact, it might not be a cell phone. Hey, I don't know what school's like now, but when I was a kid, you could never, ever in your life bring a cell phone in there. I don't know what y'all got going on now. And y'all kids do anything. But anyway, let's just make it a little bit more extreme. You could not bring your PlayStation 5 into the school building, plug it up in the classroom and start playing. That's a prohibited item. That does not mean it's an illegal item. You understand? So that's a little bit of confusion, because you got so many of these netbeards that make videos all day and get the facts wrong. So this is why I say, don't believe them. Don't believe me. Do your own research. Because when you do your research, you realize that you were told the wrong thing. And it's not even your fault for repeating the false information, but you were just told the wrong thing. Again, a knife under 5.5 inches, which Karmelo's was, is not illegal to have in Texas. It's prohibited on school grounds, but it's not a crime. If it is a knife beyond 5.5 inches, that is a location restricted knife. And if you have it on school grounds, that's a felony. You see, because a knife beyond 5.5 inches is like having a pistol in the eyes of the law when you're talking about having it on school grounds. Yeah, exactly. Legal knife against school rules. Exactly, Mr. Rich. That's exactly it. Carving in art class. Yeah. If you ever done the scrimshaw and stuff like this, I've done scrimshaw. Hey, I did scrimshaw with I did scrimshaw one time with a box cutter. That was funny because I think I had forgotten about the scrimshaw we were going to have that day, because I was at an art school. And if you know about Portsmouth, Virginia, I'm in downtown at the art center. Right by, remember when they had that statue that fell and it squished that guy's head? That was right there. That statue was so out the way, nobody even cared to see it. I used to go to school right there, right where that statue is at. And I had to go out of my way to find it when they were talking about it. I never really saw it that much going by the school. But anyway, so I'm going there. At the time my dad lives right down the street, right by where the ferry picks up. So I didn't realize that we had to do scrimshaw that day. I had to go to Dick Blick or somewhere to get the tool, but I didn't have enough time because class get ready to start. So I'm like, Dad, let me get a knife or something, some kind of blade. So he gave me a box cutter. So I was in there doing scrimshaw with a box cutter in my class. You know, a white guy next to me looking like this dude looking like, what's a good comparison? This dude looking like I don't know, maybe like a Mike Johnson type of character. I don't know. He's looking like that, right? You know, quarter zip type of guy, you know, short hairstyle. Hey, name's Bill. One of them. He was looking like, I was like, yeah, bro. I mean, my fault. I couldn't go get the thing from Dick Blick. I don't got enough time. I got to do it like this. And I don't like box cutters, really. I prefer a pocket knife. It's much more efficient, in my humble opinion, than a box cutter. Maybe people disagree, but I like a pocket knife more than anything else for cutting boxes, personally. All right. Hold on. Let me read some of the comments here, and I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Okay, Jeff Walsh says, ABL, tell us people under 50 what scrimshaw is. It's difficult to explain. Basically, scrimshaw is a method of carving, and I think normally they would do it on whalebone. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. I'm gonna just try to find it. But you could do scrimshaw. You don't have to have whalebone. I think he might have had clay or something. No, it wasn't clay. It was some kind of, hold on. It wasn't whalebone though. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up. and it's like really miniature carving. I think I did pretty good with my carving when I did it. I don't know where that piece is though, but
so that's that.
So you see this piece right here? That is not like a stamp or anything like that. It's not like a heat press on the t-shirt. You see these tools right there? I needed to have that. These tools, I needed to have that to do the scrimshaw. So there's like individual carvings on what appears to be right here, a whalebone. And I think what they do, they put ink in it to give it that color, but it's not a drawing, it's a carving. You see those little tools, like little picks and stuff like that? Yeah, we were doing stuff like that in my art class back in the day. This is back in like, I don't know, man, 2003, 2002, something like that. Yeah. So shout out to the scrimshaw. If you know, you know. Oh yeah, okay, let's go to Juneteenth right quick. I got a lot to say about Juneteenth. Now, Juneteenth, and I'm going to keep going past the Karmelo thing. I'm done. I really don't like that story no more. I really don't want to I don't want to keep going back and forth, arguing the same point over and over again. I really ain't trying to do that. You know what I mean? I said what I said. And I mean, I feel like I'm confident. I'm confident that what I'm saying is correct. Anybody disagree, it don't even matter. Anyway, it's like an etching. That's right, Hubbalone. It's like an etching. Yes. Yeah. Very old method, but I did that. I did scrimshaw. I've done everything. Like y'all, I was an artist for real. I had at that school, I had this big portfolio, 24 by 36, whatever that was. One of them black portfolios. Hold on, let me show you what I had right quick for the guys that don't know. Anything art, I could do it. Basic like watercolor, pastel, pen, ink, pencil, colored pencil. It's whatever. Hold on. So, yeah, I had something like this. Something like this. Now, this picture don't do it no justice because that's not like, it's a pretty big bag. That's probably 24, so 2 foot by 36, 3 foot. At least that. Because I could put 24 36 in there. Like I had paintings that was that big inside of this. So that's probably a little bit bigger than 2 by 3, 2 foot by 3 foot. So it's pretty big when you walking around with it. But in the front pocket, I would have just little supplies, my little pocket knife, the box cutter to do my scrimshaw, on my paint brushes, the pastel, what they call that? I done forgot, man. I've not done art in so long, but I had all that in there. Yeah, but mostly paint, individual tubes of paint. From Dick Blick. That's what I had in there. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Juneteenth. Let's go to that right quick. Now, Juneteenth, I've been celebrating this my whole life. And every year, people always say the same thing. Oh, why is Juneteenth? It's a made up holiday. Why not this day? Why not that day? Why not Juneteenth? Let's talk about that. The argument of why must celebrate Juneteenth? Why must the celebration of the end of slavery be on Juneteenth? Matter of fact, let's talk about something else first before I get to that, because there's a lot I want to say. Let's talk about the Civil War. Do we have any day that celebrates the ending of the war? Do we have any day that celebrates the Union soldiers who fought and died in the war? Because that was an argument. Oh, why they got to have this Juneteenth day? Why can't there be a day for the Civil War dead? First of all, it's not a competition between the holidays. I didn't celebrate Juneteenth independently from the Independence Day. Juneteenth, we celebrated that. And then Independence Day, July 4th, we celebrate that too. The holidays were not better than the other. But some of us think in this black versus white war all the time in your mind. And you think that if there's a black-centered holiday, or when you think it's black-centered, then that must mean it's anti-white or it's in the front to white. It ain't nothing like that. It's just another day. Like, you don't have to compete between Veterans Day and Memorial Day or Juneteenth or whatever, MLK, whatever the holiday is, just a holiday. And we can appreciate that holiday for what it is independently of other holidays. Now, You may have some when they get involved in the social media nonsense, the race war nonsense. I don't do that. I see Juneteenth as a holiday that represents a time in history. Now, some say, why can't there be a holiday to celebrate our Civil War dead? That's called Memorial Day. That is called Memorial Day, quite literally. ABL, that's just for that's for all wars, all the dead, and the future wars, not just the Civil War. Okay, here's a question. Here's a little bit of trivia. Okay, we learned what scrimshaw. We learned what scrimshaw is. Now we're gonna learn about how Memorial Day started. What year, what day and year was the first Memorial Day celebration? And why was it held? And who held it? Who held it? What was the day and year? Why was it held? Okay, now I'm gonna give you guys the answer. Don't do no Googling. Don't do no AI research or nothing. Let me tell you if you don't know. May 1st, 1865. May 1st, 1865. Formerly enslaved Black Americans held a celebration of fallen Union soldiers who died in the Confederate jail. They gave them a proper burial, and there was a big celebration with thousands of people. That was the very first Memorial Day, which is before Juneteenth. So what are we talking about exactly? I don't understand. People just didn't know about Juneteenth, and they feel like, you know what, since I didn't know about it, that must mean it's not real. No. You just didn't know about it, and it's okay. You might not know everything. There's a lot of things that happen in this country that you might not know about, and it's okay. You know what? I try to learn something new every day. I have a desire and a passion for learning, but to have that desire and the passion for learning, I have to admit that I don't know everything. One thing my dad always told me, and RP to him is yesterday was his birthday, so shout out to Dad. One thing that he always told me was, if you don't know something, just say that. Matter of fact, if you don't know something, go figure it out. Go figure it out rather than just trying to act like you know and you don't know. That's what I was always told. So I always want to learn something new. I'm not afraid to say I don't know something. But if I want to learn and I want to get educated, I'm going to go out there and do my research. Again, don't believe me, don't believe them, do your own research. Memorial Day was started by freed Black Americans celebrating, honoring Union soldiers who fought and died to free them in 1865. ABL, why are you wearing that hat? Why am I wearing a USA hat? Why do I have 1776? These are important days in history. These are important things. Okay, I'm an American, so of course, USA. I'm a Black American, so of course we got the flags. My dad was a firefighter. Okay, and I love the police officers. You got to have first responders in the country. I got that for that. And then, of course, I'm living in the best country in the world. That's an important book, right? And I'm born in 1984 as well. So these are important days, important numbers, important things. Why not this year? This was a really important Republican accomplishment, freeing the slaves. Abraham Lincoln, the very first Republican president. What did he do? He frees the slaves. Why did the war happen? He gets elected in 1860. He becomes president in 1861. What happens? The war breaks out 1861. Why? Because they knew that slavery was at risk. That's why. Because the individual states were like, hey, you can't do that. We're going to be out of luck. That's where the whole states' rights thing came in. That's why. But hey, we Republicans said, you know what? Slavery has run its course. It was a good run, but now we're going to do something else. And what did they do as a result of the Republican president freeing the slaves? They shot him, just like they're trying to do with President Trump. I see the parallels. Maybe it's just me. But yeah. Now, Juneteenth, we've always celebrated Juneteenth in the Black community. There's a lot of things that we do in the Black community that, what they say, the greater society does not know about, because we did not coexist for a long time. We lived separately. whites on that side of town, blacks on that side of town. So although we're Americans and we have quite a bit in common as being Americans, when you live separately, you're going to do separate things. Every year throughout my whole life, my dad would tell me this story. When we'd be going from Virginia Beach to DC, that what was that, like a 3.5 hour trip? Every year for my whole life, I'm talking about from when I was old enough to remember up until I got to be old, like fully an adult, he would tell me this story every year about Juneteenth. I mean, why wouldn't he? Dad was a guy who was really into a lot of the civil rights stuff. Okay, you go to my granddad's house in Roanoke, even up until granddad passed away, he kept the room in the basement just like it was when my dad and his two brothers were living there. So you go in there, you got Afro Picks and Jimi Hendrix and, you know, all the, you know, the Huey Newton, you got all of that going on in their room. That's what they were into. When I'm 8 years old, I did a paper about the SNCC. Look it up. I did a paper about that when I'm 8 years old, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 8, 9 years old. So all this stuff I've been learning about my whole life. Booker T. Washington went to church in West Virginia and taught my family members in the 1800s. This is my life. This is what I know. So when someone who does not know about these things tells me that it's not legitimate, it's like, you know what? I respect your opinion, but you just don't know what you just don't know. It's just ignorance, and it's okay at a certain point to be ignorant. But when you are willfully ignorant, that's called retardation, in my humble opinion. I don't pick on anybody that's disabled as being retarded. Nah, if you're disabled, you're disabled. If you're willfully ignorant, like you're being told something, but you refuse to even do any research, you refuse to learn, that's called willful ignorance, and that I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate at all. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's, you know, open to learning things and the way things work. Back to Juneteenth, to wrap it up right quick as I continue. So the whole point of Juneteenth was in Galveston, Texas, they were alerted that they were free on June 19th, 1865. This celebration spread throughout the country, and it served as the day we were recognized as the ending of slavery, although there were several days depending upon where you were, because soldiers were coming to all parts of the USA to free slaves independently. Okay, this town over here, this city over there. So different parts of the country may have had different days. And aside from the individual days, certain places were told that slavery was over with. You also have the days of the Emancipation Proclamation. My birthday, ABL, you look great to be 180 years old. My birthday, September 22nd, 1862, Abraham Lincoln gives the emancipation. January 1st, 63, it becomes official. So either one of those days could be when we celebrate the end of slavery, or it could be Juneteenth. Why? Oh, because since 1865, we celebrated it continuously without any kind of stopping. So why not keep it going? But anyway, or it could be December the 6th, again, 1865, because that's when Georgia ratified the 13th Amendment, which got the 3/4 of the states needed to amend the Constitution of the United States. So that's when it became official. There was also the Choctaw Nation, who did not free their slaves until the 1866 year. So there's all kind of days, there's all kind of times you could pick to have Juneteenth, but why not that there's been that day since the beginning of it? Anyway, but yeah, shout out to everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed your Juneteenth. If you work and you got a day off, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. A liberal Democrat holiday. It's not a liberal Democrat holiday. It's something that we've always celebrated, but people didn't know about it. So when you don't know about something, then you try to rationalize it in a way that makes sense to you. What Kevin Hart say in 40-year-old version? Hey, you're throwing a lot of big words at me, and since I don't understand them, it's disrespect. Watch your mouth and help with the sale. That's what it is. Since I don't know something, I'm going to assign this to it, and that's what it's going to be. And no one can tell me that I'm wrong, because that's how I feel. I'm going to operate on feelings with no fact at all. All right, and then what else we got going on? Okay, I see your comment, Shrek. So the algae issue with the pool, that might be a misstep from Trump. I don't know what the thought process was. Like, I don't know who had the bright idea. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do with that. So it looks like all they did was drain the pool, the reflecting pool in DC. All they did was drain the pool and then paint the bottom blue. So that was going to make it reflect. I don't really understand. The problem with the pool is the algae because of the water source. If you're going to get that water that's right there, I think they could have done the different thing where they could have had fresh water, but they got the water straight from the Potomac, I suppose, or a nearby body of water. They got that water. It's going to have algae in it. Like, you're not going to be able to get around that. They in there with nets trying to get the algae out. It's not going to help. It's the water source. So I don't know what they were thinking, just trying to paint the bottom. That ain't going to prevent the algae from being on top. If you got algae on top, it's going to block whatever's on the bottom. All you're going to see is the algae on top. So you're going to see that green rather than what it should be, which is clear. It was clear for a while when they filled the water up, but then the water source has not changed and the design of the pool itself has not changed. And I don't know when the algae, I think the algae might have started when Obama redid it. So, I think that you have two presidents so far who have failed to tame the reflecting pool. Obama spent more money, actually like $30-something million. And that's when the algae got introduced because it changed the water source. And then we got Trump draining it to paint the bottom of the pool blue. Like, I didn't know what they were doing. A lot of these projects I'm not really paying any attention to. The reflecting pool and also the Arc de Trump, like the Arc de Triomphe. Basically, I almost say it's a copy or a facsimile, but it's a similar structure to that. They have proposed that for DC. But I'm not paying that any mind until it actually happens. And as far as the reflecting pool, I didn't really care about it too much until they did it. But I think they might need to go just drain it. Hey, man, put some fake water in there. I don't know what you got to do. Get some chlorine like it's a pool. I don't know what you're going to do. But I think that ultimately the water source is the problem. So it doesn't matter if you paint it blue, green, pink, purple. It ain't going to change the algae from being on top. It's still going to be green. The bottom of the pool will not affect the top if the algae, like the blue paint ain't going to protect you from algae. But anyway, that's not really a big deal to me. You can go ahead and drain it and close it. Also, here's something else. There could be vandals introducing pollutants to the water because you can get right up on it. It's nothing preventing you from going right there. There's no security. It's not like it's a walled off place. You could pretty much take a bath in there if you want to. You could go in there, hit number 2 and be out of there before anybody knows. So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with that, but that's not really a big deal in my humble opinion. He tried. Exactly, Kevin. He tried. He gave it a try. But yeah, man, I mean, it ain't nothing you could do if you got that same water source. I don't know. Maybe somebody just let that happen. But I feel like sometimes you got to have people in your corner that are going to tell you, what's what with that. Maybe you got somebody there that's kind of dishonest and was just trying to, brown nose and get on Trump's good side. But if you do something like that, if you tell Trump that that's going to work in the day, and you're going to be on his bad side. So that was kind of, or somebody just silly and thought it was going to work. I didn't know what they were doing. All I knew was that there was a renovation happening and it cost X amount of millions of dollars. But I didn't know the only thing they were going to do was paint the bottom. If that's it, then what are we talking about? It was weird. But anyway, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Corky says the Arc classical tradition fits DC and the ancient genius. I mean, hey, we're going to see. We're going to see. Starfire X says, why did I stop doing art? I felt like it was really pretentious. I didn't like the kind of people who were there. I don't know. I just felt like this wasn't really my lane. It wasn't really for me. I'm not really the artsy fartsy type of guy. I'm good at a lot of different things, but I did not want that to be what I hitched my wagon to. Now, I didn't want to get into athletics, even though I've been the same size since I've been 14. They wanted me to play. I remember walking down the hallway, and then there's nobody in the hallway. I'm late to my class, ain't nobody in the hallway, and it's one of the football coaches. Look, you go like this. He looking at me like, "You're not playing? Like, what's going?" I'm like, "Y'all are 0-10. My friend's on the team. He got a broken leg. I'm not trying to be a broken up jock with a bad back at 21, and y'all losing. And I know I'm not that good to go to college with a scholarship. And if I was to be that good, it'd take a lot out of my body. So I'd rather would just focus on academics. But in that, I wanted to focus on things that I wanted to do more. And art was just not it. I knew it wasn't gonna be my direction. So had a big portfolio. I left it. I just walked out. I left, like, you know what? Never mind. I'm good. Let me do something else. And that's what I did. Still with the same art mind, just not that specifically. Okay. I still have my art in my mind, just not that. Art nerd. Shout out to Quirky Goss, art nerd. All right. Solar Wind says, wonder how much chlorine it would take to shock it. Probably way too much. I don't think chlorine going to get her done. You're talking about like physical matter. You talking about a swimming pool with fresher water in it. See, that's one thing about it. It's the water source. I don't think you're going to put water from the Potomac River in a swimming pool. You're going to put water from your tap, water from your actual city's water supply, your county supply in the swimming pool. You're not going to put water from the creek in the pool. That don't make no sense. Just jump in the creek then. You can't there's no amount of chlorine you could put in the creek that'll make it not be that, You got kind of organic matter in there. You got not just the dirt, but you also have living organisms, their carcasses, all of that is going to make it be a certain way. And that's what you got with the algae in the reflecting pool. Put fish in it. Hey, that'd be funny. But that'd be a mess. That'd be a complete mess. You don't want that, because if you put fish in it, is it going to be fishing? If you have fish, they're going to repopulate, and you're going to have a lot of carcasses. So that's going to be another issue. But they might be able to eat the algae, but they're going to have waste product from the fish and their carcasses when they die. If you don't fish, especially, you're going to have a lot more carcasses. But if you do fish, now we got a fishing hole rather than a reflecting pool. And you don't want that. All right, let's keep on going here. Did I get everything? I believe I did. And shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. We got quite a bit going on tonight. We got World Cup. We got a few more things. Iran deal. But shout out to you guys for being the very first audience. I couldn't do any of this without you. Thank you to everyone who's sponsored, who is watching all the streams and sponsoring the show. And shout out to all the sponsors as well. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description. Or go to patriotpost.us, tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonybeatlogan.com. That is ANTHONY, letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each long-form video I produce, I write an article, and in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, political, agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonybeatlogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonybeatlogan.com/contact-us. There you see my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok, my email address, my snail address. All my contact information will be right there on the contact page of the website, anthonybeatlogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, please don't get scammed out here. It's 2026. We don't have time for it. You already know who it's going to be. Indian dude, no flip-flops, bare feet on the ground outside. It's going to be dude Eastern Europe, Boris and Natasha. If he dies, he dies. Ivan, Vladimir, one of them names, or some kind of, some kind of a fiction, some kind of conglomeration of those names. Okay, Ivan Igor, or something like that. It'd be that guy trying to scam you, or it'd be a guy with 15 vowels in his first name, living in Lagos, Nigeria. It's 1,000 degrees. Okay, no AC. My friend, please contact me on this number here. I'm going to take all your monies today. Don't get scammed by that guy. We don't have time for it. Now, let's get to a few things. So, you got World Cup energy, and I like what's going on with the World Cup. Like I said, I'm going to the fan event on Friday this coming week. It's going to be Friday the 26th. in Atlanta. I'll be at the fan event at Centennial Park. And if the weather is good tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow as well. But definitely Friday. My tickets are already prepared. I'll be there on Friday the 26th. Okay. And before I continue, I'm going to be doing a lot more interviews. So I need you guys to let me know who you want me to interview. Already got a few people lined up. Anybody else, please let me know. I'll put those interviews here, but it'll also be on another channel. Y'all stay tuned for that. And that's what I'm going to be focused managing on a lot more coming here pretty soon, because a lot of you guys are saying, hey, man, I don't got time for the politics all the time. I want to see something else. So that's going to be for interviews. But anyway, let's keep going here. World Cup. This is going to be in Seattle, Washington. There was some concern about a lack of patriotism, but obviously we showed them wrong. Let's get some sound. That'll help. All right, there we go. And you know what? I like how the West Virginia anthem, my original home birthplace, Charleston, West Virginia, the West Virginia anthem, Country Roads, has become so popular. I really appreciate that. And you know what is the funny part? I think that that's probably mostly the foreigners, our guests at the World Cup in Seattle, who were singing the song about America, loving America. Like, that's a great thing to see. Patriotism from those who are not even citizens of this country. It's an amazing thing. So, yeah, that's right. Happy West Virginia Day. Happy Dub V Day. Now we got England fans in the rodeo in Fort Worth, out there by Dallas, Fort Worth area. Okay, and they're singing Sweet Caroline. Hey, shout out to the European fans. Shout out to the Scots, the English, all you guys. The drinking, yeah, y'all drink a lot. Y'all drink beer like water. That's the European stuff, because what I read, and if I'm wrong, you let me know, but that's part of their tradition, because the only thing that might be clean as far as something you could drink would be beer, because of the way that it was made. You know, you remove a lot of the impurities in the process. Just trying to drink regular water, it'd probably be more dangerous than drinking beer. So to them, drinking beer is like drinking soda. Same thing with the Russians. They drink heavy too. All the Europeans drink like a fish. They got a tolerance that's beyond anything. Now, there's no way in the world I could ever drink with them. I'm not a drinker. And I don't like beer anyway. I don't know what it is. Maybe my genetics ain't really tuned into the beer. I can't do nothing with it. Okay, y'all like whatever kind of beer you like, knock yourself out. Shout out to the Europeans. Hey, if there's ever a time where we're in the same place and there's an open bar, you got it. Hey, I got my little Kirkland water right here. I'm gonna just drink that. I'm a South American. Y'all can have all the whole bar. Knock yourself out. I don't want it. All right. Now we got a flyover at one of these games here. Now I like the atmosphere of the World Cup and the way it's being marketed, because when you're talking about soccer, or what they would call football, footy, it is seen often as something that's kind of boring. You just sitting there. We want, people to score every second, like dopamine hit. Ding, ding, ding. We want that. Football is much different. It's more about just the vibe of the audience, the camaraderie with the countrymen. It's more about that. Now, imagine that flyover. Imagine seeing that in real time. Maybe you even expect it. It just happens. And you got this amazing flyover. Imagine that. All right. So shout out to them. I'm not quite sure where that is. That might be San Diego somewhere. Y'all let me know where that is. If you recognize the stadium with this kind of split top like that, y'all let me know. And by the way, we have some amazing stadiums in the USA. Hey, I'm going to show y'all one day soon the Atlanta Stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Oh, that stadium right there. I've been down there. That stadium is amazing. It's really amazing. I got to show you guys like inside of that. Okay, let's keep on going here. Let's keep on going. Now, we got South African fans and RIP in advance to the headphone users. We got South African fans in Atlanta.
Walking to the stadium, awesome match by all South Africans in Atlanta. Tango Bafana Bafana.
All right, there we go. Shout out South Africa out there in ATL. Okay, is it on MLK? I don't know where they at. Yeah, I think they're on. No, they're somewhere else. Anyway, in Atlanta. ABL, find the Walmart videos. I got you. Don't worry about it. So this guy right here, you see the caption, being European and going to the Walmart is such a nice experience. Okay, let's see what let's see how he likes it.
So I know a lot of you guys will not understand this, but here's the thing. For me, one of the most touristical attractions in the United States is the Walmart. And every time I'm going somewhere and I'm seeing a Walmart, I will enter it. But this kills me every time. This is pizza. Damn. 1.26 kilos. And of course the ground beef. This ground beef.
Now, why is that so amazing? Y'all don't have ground beef like that in Europe? Well, normally when I would get ground beef, it's not like in this little tube. It might be like in a little thing right there at the top. A little square rectangular thing going on. But is it the size of it? Like, what's going on?
This is bigger than my future. I mean, look at the size.
It's big. Okay.
Look at and I got big hands, L-sized hands, but damn. And there we are, the bread. But there is no real bread. So let's take this for example. How many ingredients? Oh my.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, you in Walmart, bro. You're not in a specialty spot where you're gonna get some nice fancy bread. You're getting Walmart bread. You about to eat the peanut butter jelly sandwich at best.
God. 1 gallon, 3.8 liters of pickles. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on you, but I think most of these things would be so illegal in Europe. With all these ingredients, oh.
Yeah, of course. But now, bro, what I need you to go to like a fancier spot, go to a farmer's market, go to places like that. You can find what you want. A good grocery store would be, I like Fresh Market. They got all that fancy bread, that one ingredient stuff to go bad in one day. They got that, but you got to pay that money, and you're gonna have to pay. Now, if you want to pay $1, if you want to pay $1 for a loaf of bread, go to Walmart. You're gonna get 1,000 ingredients. So the choice is yours. But let's keep going here. Now, this is lady she's from Australia going to Walmart for the first time.
My very first time in Walmart in America. Why did I say Mart? Walmart. So I genuinely don't know what is here. I don't know if it's like home goods, if it's groceries, whoa. Okay, it's everything. It's so big. Okay, so you can get groceries at Walmart. Look at all the American flags. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start. You've got all frozen food and stuff down here. But like, there's stuff everywhere. There's clothes. Yam. What's yam? This place is crazy.
What's yam? That's crazy.
They had everything. They have pastries, food, cleaning products. I think through there, oh my God, it goes on forever. Look how far it goes down. Oh my God, look how big these iced teas are. This is 3.78 liters of iced tea.
Yes, indeed. That's that Arizona right there. Hey, I used to get them by the matter of fact. Hey, you know what? RIP. Hold on. Let's take a moment of silence for the 24-hour Walmart. RIP to the late night runs. If Walmart was still open late night, I would go right after this stream and get one of those. Man, when I was young, I used to live on an Arizona green tea. Live on them. That one right there in the can, I live on those. And then when I got to be an adult, like in my early 20s, I was big back status. I would get honey buns and I would get the Arizona green teas. Now I've graduated to the Milos. And if you don't know about Milos, you got to get with it. Shout out to Milos out there in Alabama. But yeah, they got the good tea. Sugar free.
Iced tea. Oh my God, there's so many flavors of Pop-Tarts. Look, so many Pop-Tarts. Ooh. These ones are protein too. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Don't eat those.
I had the best flavor of Monster in a pack. Oats, I love Quaker Oats. Maple brown sugar. If I lived here, I'd do that, but I don't, so I can't take that in the car. Kodiak. I love Kodiak with the pancakes. Protein. Oh, I wish I was like living here and not road tripping so I could actually eat these. Okay, there's more than food. Let's go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, look how many oats there are. That is massive.
Yeah, that's back in I used to have that too. I might still have one in there. Like the real big, tall thing. Yeah.
Look how big that is. Look how many Cheez-Its. What's this? And why is it in a big milk carton?
Oh, they never had goldfish before? That's funny. That's a staple of the childhood. Little goldfish, put them in a little plastic bag. That's a good little snack at school.
I don't understand. This can't be all cereal. No way. Okay, I'm out of the groceries, but look at this deal. A Philips 75-inch TV for $398. That's basically like 550 Australian dollars for a 75-inch TV. And here you can just buy a Meta glasses and a PS5.
Yep.
It's what I'm getting from Walmart is that it's a one-stop shop. All these are kids stuff. Look, we're not even halfway across, and we came from back there. We're not even halfway. This is massive. Look how many bikes there are to buy from. Also, $74 for a bike. That's pretty good. Here's some wrestling stuff where you can it's like a mystery box, and it could be any of the characters. Little concerning. You know what that is.
Yeah.
Only at Walmart. And
it's $40. It's an air rifle. That ain't gonna do nothing to you. You might be out there hitting at best little cans, bottles. You're not gonna hit nothing with that.
Worst part is that it's across the road from the kids' toys. Don't have a tire? No.
Hey, Australia, don't talk crazy about us having guns, because y'all have relinquished your privilege voluntarily. We have not. You still got guns for the kids. Hey, that right there, that rifle right there you saw, the little Daisy, little airsoft, you get that when you like a child. That's like a Christmas gift when you 5 years old. That's nothing.
Walmart has tires. What is going on? Are they what I think they are? And across the road from where we get the Pew Pew pellets, we have this beautiful fall farmhouse candle. Oh my God, this is so funny. We found a Diet Coke Light. There's a place over there to fix your tech. And you have Krispy Kremes. There's literally just everything in this place.
All right, there we go. So you guys wanted to see a lot of the foreigners in Wally World. There you go. Yeah, one thing that I've seen quite a bit of them in Walmarts and stuff like this. And one thing that they are all shocked about is the guns. But that little airsoft ain't nothing. That's like a toy. Like a pocket knife. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to say it. I'm sorry. My fault. I'm gonna keep on going. Hey, I rebuke that. I rebuke that last comment. I'm gonna strike that last comment. Anyway, let's keep going. And if you like what you're hearing so far, here's a good one. Another foreign person experiencing the air conditioning. Hold on. Yeah, he's experiencing the air conditioning for the first time. You know, I think I read that more Europeans die from not having air conditioning than Americans die from gun violence. Am I right about that? I did read that. Y'all fact check me on that, please. More Europeans die from not having air conditioning in their homes than Americans die from gun violence. Because they don't really do AC like that over there. Because to them, they just open the window and they're good. But living in a place like London, England, in a far northern climate that's cold a lot of times, is much different than living in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, living in Atlanta with no AC, oh my Lord, you're going to be in the world of trouble. But let's watch this.
I have found out why America...
And RIP to the headphone users. Let me start from the top here.
I have found out why America is so great. And it is one thing and one thing only. Air conditioning. It is the greatest thing I have ever experienced. It is hotter than Satan's butt crack out here. But what makes it bearable is the air conditioning. I believe you need to add a verse to your national anthem that talks about air conditioning. Americans are only scared of one thing, and that is being hot. But I love it. I love it. Is it something you have against being hot? Because the air conditioning, the ice in everything. Alors, something that I figured out while being here is that ice makes everything better. Better. I am convinced Americans put ice in every drink. The other day, I was out for breakfast, and I was at a cafe. I look over, and a man had ice in his milk. Oh. Americans love ice so much that le Titanic, no, le Titanic, whatever you say, I believe the Titanic was out to get more ice. Here in Texas, I see these signs that say that some people want ice. I don't understand that. And then people tell me that ice will take me away. What is this?
Nah, shout out to ice. But hey, hold on. You know what? One thing about having ice and everything is because before AC, you had to keep cool some kind of way. Hey, man, give me a nice cold glass of something to cool down. It's 100 degrees out here. The humidity is through the roof. Let me get something cold to drink so I can cool off. And from there, we've just always kept ice and stuff. Ice does make a lot of things better. Oh, yeah. When I get my drinks, my little sweet tea, whatever kind of juice, put it right in the fridge right away. Yeah, I need that in the fridge. I want it cold in my cup. And we got these refrigerators where you got the ice maker right on the door. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't really use the ice maker. It's kind of janky a little bit. I prefer just to have the ice cubes. And I'm so fancy. I have one of those things that makes the shaped ice cubes. It's not the square. Like I have those spheres. Hold on. Let me show you what I got. A spherical ice cube. Yeah, so I got ice cubes that look like this. Hold on. Can I get a better picture? Or there we go. So yeah, I got ice cubes that look like that. Because all you got to do is just put them in this like you had the regular ice tray where you just fill it up with the little, the typical little squares, rectangles. It might be 24 and one little thing like this. You fill it up, put it in the freezer, let it freeze, and you crack it and you dump it out. Well, I have this thing. It has, hold on, let me just see if I can show it. Yeah, it's something like this. See, it's something like that. You see, all you got to do is just close this container, and those holes on the top, you just fill it in there, and it'll seal up to where it'll make the spherical cubes. When you want to take it out, Just take that top part off, squeeze from the bottom, and you got your spherical cubes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I put that in a nice cold drink. Oh, man, that is so good. Nice. That is so good, especially if it was like whatever the drink was room temperature, right? And then you put the ice cube in it, and get you a thin plastic straw. Yeah, I'm real fancy, Taylor. I'm real fancy with the drinks. I am, for sure. All right, now speaking of water and stuff like this, did you guys have any flooding where you are? It rained a lot out here, but it's still kind of going off and on. It was raining yesterday. We might get some more rain tonight or maybe tomorrow, and I think throughout the week it's going to rain. But we had a drought, so I think we're now coming to the drought end. So the rain was needed, but this is over in Kenner, Louisiana. It was a tropical storm. I had no idea it was a tropical storm already. I guess it's that time. So this remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur. And if you guys don't know the way they name storms, they name them in alphabetical order according to the date of first observance, I think. So when you have early season storms, they got A names. And the later you go, they have, P and Z or whatever kind of names they have. Hurricane Andrew, that was kind of an early storm, if I'm not mistaken. When was that anyway? 1992, but what? That was August. I guess that was a little bit later. Anyway. So this is some flooding out there in Louisiana. Now, of course, you got low-lying areas. You got a storm. This is going to happen, unfortunately. But luckily for me, and those of us in this region, we're inland. So the flooding risk isn't as bad. There's low-lying areas, but the flooding is not really an issue out here. Not really out here too much. But in some parts of this area, you got floodplains. You can flood out there, but not where I am. So, hey, when you're thinking about moving somewhere, make sure you're not going to be in the floodplain. Yeah, you don't want that to be the case. Now, this person got hit with a tornado in, I believe, Effingham, Illinois. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Effingham, Illinois. And yes, this is in between St. Louis, Indianapolis. So this is like toward the southern part of Illinois. Anyway, got hit with a tornado. This is this video kind of hit close to home because I remember this sound because I was hit by a tornado one time. And it wasn't like this, obviously. It wasn't quite like this, but I was hit. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to just give you my previous story.
Bro, there's a tornado outside right now. Oh my gosh. What in the world just happened?
Now, that right there is crazy. And as you can see, at a certain point, this video had cut off, and then he cut it back on, and then it's like, what happened? Now, one thing that reminded me of my incident with tornado, and by the way, when a tornado hit me, I wasn't, nothing really, the house is okay. All that happened was there were some branches that had leaned up against the gutter and bent the gutter a little bit, but that was nothing. There was no damage to the home. But the hurricane, pardon me, the tornado most certainly did hit our neighborhood. And the sound, it's that train. Like, you can hear it a little bit here.
Bro, there's a tornado outside right now.
You hear it, it's like wheels turning. For me, the sound was like, but it's like wheels turning, like something coming at you real fast. That's what you're going to hear when a tornado hits. So if you have inclement weather and you start hearing something like that, the train or something moving real quickly, wheels turning, you about to get hit. So I suggest you get to the center of the house, try to protect yourself and pray for the best. Now, when I got hit by the tornado some years back, there was no damage to the house except for the little gutter bin, but there was some damage to the neighborhood. It was crazy. Trying to get out of there, it was a mess because there was a lot of rain. So there was one place where you could exit the neighborhood, which was a lake. It had become a lake completely. Like the whole road was like impassable. And then when you wanted to go another way, there was debris all in the road. You got down power lines. So you couldn't go that way either. So we had to go through the third way, which is like a little back cut. And there were so many pieces of debris we narrowly missed. And so many things. It was a low power line, but it went all the way down. It was difficult to get out of the neighborhood because there was so much destruction. And when you leave the neighborhood, there was things that were just totally destroyed by the tornado. The post office, that was damaged really badly. The AutoZone, that was gone. No AutoZone. It was totally wiped away by the tornado. I'm talking about I could walk to the AutoZone from my house. It was that close. So thank God the house didn't get blown away because, hey, this right here, this could have most certainly been me when a tornado hit way back in the day. Oh, and also there was a church, Grace Church, that got destroyed by the tornado. And they have a school. They have a Christian academy at Grace Church. So another church called Morris Hill took it over. Well, they're hosting them for now. And Grace Church got some federal money to build a new church that was tornado proof or tornado resistant. And it looks real nice. They got it right there on the corner of what's that? Is that Shalaffer Road? I think Shalaffer Road and something else. But anyway, it's right there. Nice big steel beams. So it's not going to be looking like that right there. So yeah, shout out to him. He's okay. I think he's fundraising money, trying to get himself back together after his house had been destroyed by the tornado. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. J Balu says our neighborhood got hit by a tornado during Hurricane Milton in Florida 2024. Some homes were wrecked. Hey man, no tornadoes ain't no joke. That inclement weather hit you, there's nothing you could do. You can't outpower it. You can't do nothing about it. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling here. All right, so UFC 47, did you guys watch? What was, not 47, pardon me, UFC 250. Did you guys watch? Did you guys enjoy it? I watched it on, what was that? Paramount Plus. I paid my $13, $14 for the subscription, and then I canceled it immediately afterward because I don't watch TV. I had TV to be able to get that subscription. Well, I had TV, and then there was like a free trial of Paramount Plus because I watched like one game of the finals. So I bought TV just for the finals, and then after that, I didn't watch it anymore. I thought I could buy it on YouTube TV as an add-on and try it, but the trial add-on of Paramount Plus did not have the fight. So I had to go to Paramount Plus's website and buy it independently. All these apps, I could never. You got Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. It's like, goodness gracious. By the time you add everything up, you have more than the old school cable bill. That was the whole thing behind cord cutting at first back in the day. Remember my OG cord cutters? What was the thing? Why do we need to pay this big cable bill every month when we don't watch TV? And there's more things on the internet we enjoy watching. So let's go ahead and cord cut. But now they got you right back into the cord because if you have Netflix and Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, YouTube TV, this, that, and the third, add it all up, it's probably higher than your old cable bill. Anyway, we got President Trump shaking hands with the fighters. And also, before I begin, what's your opinion about UFC 50 at the White House? Was it a good move, bad move? You know, some say it's kind of tacky. Some say they didn't like it. Some say they loved it. What say you? What you think? All right, hold on. Let me get that fixed. Because I'm messing up. 1 second. Test. We should be good now. Okay. I think Roku is considered TV because you turn it's only on your TV. They may have some free stuff on there, I suppose, but it's definitely TV because you're watching it on your TV. YouTube is considered TV, not just YouTube TV, but YouTube in general. If you're watching me right now on your TV, you're watching TV, but it's not the same thing as the old school cable where there were certain companies that would give you a channel and you watch whatever they have on the channel whenever you want to watch it. Now you can watch your favorite individual person or individual show that does not have to be on television. I can exist on your TV without having to be on a major TV station or any TV station because of the power of YouTube. YouTube has brought the power of broadcast to the average everyday person in their home. Okay, so here is Trump with the fighter. All right. Shout out to the fighters. Shout out to them. And you can see the spectacle for what it was here. We got the national anthem, I believe. And a flyover. Now, seeing a flyover like in person is something else. Have I seen the flyover before? Well, yes, I've been to an air show and it was something like this, but not quite like this though. This right here. And I know you aviation guys know what those are. What are those right there that are flying in perfect unison? I mean, look at how close we're talking about this formation is, how tight it is. Going down to the air show at Langley, was that Oceana in Virginia Beach. That is a sight to see. It really is. But yeah, definitely a big fan of flyovers. And you got to see it in person. Seeing it on a video does it no justice. None whatsoever. That's right. The flyover was amazing despite the cringe. It was. Definitely some good moments. Speaking about cringe, here's one cringe-worthy moment, I would presume. Josh Hokit. Now, Josh Hokit beat Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis looked so bad, but Derek Lewis has never, in my opinion, been like an elite level fighter as far as his skills. He's just been like a knockout artist. You get hit one time, one of them haymakers, it's night-night, but he can't really do anything beyond that. Anyway, Josh Hokit beat him, and then this is what he says.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
All right, there we go. And shout out to UFC for putting copyright claims on my video on Facebook. I saw what y'all did, but I'm going to beat that. Hey, man, copyright law 1976. Eat that. But anyway, I mean, people were upset about that comment. Oh, you called Michelle Obama a man. How could you do that? This is so tacky. You're at the White House. Have better manners. Have better decorum. I understand. I get it. But understand this, though. You're talking about guys that beat other guys' heads in for a living. So, I mean, or they get their own head beat in for a living. So, what do you really expect from that kind of person? Do you expect some type of, amazing, I don't know. I don't know what you're really trying to get from that guy. Now, speaking about Michelle Obama, the Obamas, the grand opening of the Presidential Center, not library, they call it a center. The Obama Presidential Center happened on Juneteenth, June 19th, yesterday in Chicago, Illinois. Now, let's take a look at this building. First of all, on the outside, I want the look test. What do you guys think about how it looks? Does it look appealing, not appealing? Where are we at with it? Where are we at on the sliding scale of attractiveness just from observation? Now let's get into the video.
I'm standing at the very top of a 225-foot tower on Chicago's South Side. This building is the centerpiece of the Obama Presidential Center campus. Now, the spot where I'm standing offers very unique views of the city and from the perspective of behind the text of 5-foot concrete letters of the 2015 speech that President Obama gave marking the 50th anniversary of the marches from Selma to Montgomery.
You are America, unconstrained by habit and convention.
Behind me is also the campus that includes a regulation-sized basketball court, a new Chicago Public Library branch, a playground, and sledding hill for winter in Chicago. Below me are several floors of campaign memorabilia, including scores of buttons from former President Barack Obama's campaign runs, a life-size replica of the Oval Office where you can sit behind the Resolute desk, and many of former First Lady Michelle Obama's ball gowns and outfits that she wore, including a Versace dress to her final state dinner. The Obama Presidential Center is set to open to the general public on June 19th in Chicago.
Hey, now when we get the Trump Presidential Library Center, whatever it is, I want to see all of Melania's outfits. Hey, you know what? When they make the Trump Presidential Library Center, whatever they're going to call it when it's completed, I want the I want the Melania Trump outfit from the inauguration 2024, 2025, that one. When she had that hat, oh my goodness, that hat was crazy. Hold on, can I find that right quick before I continue? Let me think. This is going to be Melania Trump inauguration outfit. Was it the inauguration? Yeah, the inauguration. That's right. Yep. Hold on. And hold on. Let me get a good picture. Yeah, people want to, they want to hate, but don't hate. Hold on. So there we go right there. Yeah, now that right there, I want that. I want that in the President Trump Presidential Center, Presidential Library, whatever it is. If you're going to be doing, little time capsule type stuff for presidential outfits of the first lady, yeah, let me go ahead and get that right there. Hey, I remember watching that with you guys. I was blown away. I was like, wow, you're talking about a first lady for first ladies. All right, let's keep on rocking here. Now, here we have Barack and Michelle talking about the center.
Opening the Presidential Center right here on the south side of Chicago, it's truly a full circle moment. I mean, so much of my existence as a child into high school was driving past this very location where there was really nothing. It was a highway. It was a dangerous place. It was an unutilized park space. And I always wondered what was going on there, right? But to now be a part of, this amazing center that Barack, that you built. I mean, this is your vision. And you and the team have executed it in a superb way. I mean, this is beyond a gift. And I've said this many times before, the notion that kids like me will have a magnificent space full of history and hope and art and leadership and activity right in their backyard. There's nothing more full circle than that. So thank you.
You're welcome, baby. Thank you.
All right, there we go. The Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, Illinois. Not a library, but a center. And I think there was some legal definition, some legal distinction between the two, but I can't really remember. But I know you guys know. Now, here are some of the attendees at the grand opening. Of course, we see all the players. We got Sleepy Joe, Dr. Jill, Barry O, Big Mike, W's wife. What's George W. Bush's wife's name? Laura Bush. And then we have Slick Willie and Hillary. Everybody get a nickname, not just Big Mike, but we getting everybody a nickname if I have them. So yeah, and you always have Michelle and W next to each other because they were friends for a long time before Barack became the president. But they're all related too. That's something else. The only president not related to the other ones, Donald Trump. These people are all related. All the presidents from Biden, Obama, W, Slick Willie, all kin folks, some kind of way. Now, I don't think that I have any DNA in common with these people, but you never know. You never know what's going on. But they're all related. I'm not saying they're first cousins or nothing like that, but there is some common DNA, except for President Trump. All right, now, speaking about common DNA with people who are already in power, Nancy Pelosi's nephew, Gavin Newsom, is talking about being investigated because he's running for president, or he may run. Hold on. Yeah, it's because he remember for president. Let's watch.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president, because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history. He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies.
Okay, I mean, we're not going to hear Gavin Headspace blather on for this whole 5-minute or so clip, but you get the idea. So, Gavin Newsom, there's quite a bit to unpack with him. I think there's something there, and I think that if they're going to run for president, well, if he's going to run, him and his wife are going to, if he's going to do it, then they better be able to find any kind of weird stuff right now before he goes any further, because they're going to find it. It's going to come out and it's going to hurt him. That'd be good for us on our side, but not so good for him. But what do y'all think? Do you think they're going to find something with Gavin Newsom? Do you think that there's going to be this big bombshell piece of information that comes out that says Newsom should be in the penitentiary, or there's some corruption going on? What do y'all think? Now we have Adam Schiff pocket watching because Elon has become a trillionaire. Pocket watching, hating. And let me pause right here before I get into Adam Schiff. Did you guys get your Tesla? Pardon me. Did you guys get your SpaceX stock? I have Tesla. I have SpaceX. Whatever Elon Musk puts his name on, I'm going to invest in. I think it's a pretty good bet to invest in the world's first trillionaire. I'm just saying. I'm no gambling man. I'm no stock expert. But from my point of view, as a simple, common, regular, everyday man, I think it makes sense to invest into a guy who's become a trillionaire. Maybe, just maybe, he knows what he's doing. But of course, you got guys like Adam Schiff that want to pocket watch and take money. Okay, my light going out, but I'll fix that. Let's get to it.
What would $1 trillion pay for? Well, $1 trillion, if we decide to distribute that equally among American households, your household would get $7,500. Every household in America could get $7,500 from that $1 trillion. It would also pay for the complete 4-year college education of 7.7 million American students. So you can take all the tuition, all the room and board, all the costs of all of that for 7.5 million students and pay for it by the wealth of our first trillionaire.
So you're trying to take all this money? Did I hear that correctly? So $1 trillion would cover the cost of 4 years of college for 7.7 million Americans. For how long? How long would that last? Like just 4 years? Just the 4 years and that's it? See, there go the problem right there. You see, spending someone else's money is all good until someone else's money runs out, then what are you going to do? A person who's been able to accumulate that kind of wealth is better off being able to keep the majority of it because they're able to invest into more things that'll make more money and will advance society forward, will create jobs. And that goes for anybody. Anybody who has a bunch of money, who's become millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, let them have their money because these guys are going to keep doing more and more things that are going to help us and it will help them rather than just taking the money and spending it. At the end of it, they don't have any money, nor do we, because there's no more pool. There's no more big bag of money to be able to take from. You got to be able to generate more. You got to be able to do more, not just take and spend. And we know what the government does with money when they spend it. It just waste it. They set it on fire. They set it on fire in front of you. And they put it into their own personal pocket. So no, Adam Schiff, we're not going to have this socialist dream. Let me go back to him to let him finish.
1 million American students. So you can take all the tuition, all the room and board, all the costs of all of that for 7.5 million students and pay for it by the wealth of our first trillionaire. It costs a lot to raise kids in America. Well, you can take 4.3 million kids and raise them from birth until 18, pay for everything they need during those 18 years. What would $1 trillion pay for? Well, $1 trillion, if we decide to distribute that equally among...
All right, so yeah, we're not going to do that, Mr. Adam Schiff. Let people who have accumulated wealth keep their money. That's just the way it's supposed to be. The goal should be for all of us to do whatever we can to get ourselves up to whatever level we are able to get to. Now, we're not all going to be 1,000 IQ big brains like Elon, but we can do something for ourselves, especially in this country. There's so many ways to make a living for yourself. You don't have to go take from somebody to be able to make it happen. And we already pay taxes. I mean, what more do you want? Good grief. This tax, that tax, all the tax. What more do you want? Okay, now, speaking about Hillary, she says, hey, you know what? Joe Biden made a terrible mistake by running for president.
He made a terrible mistake. He made a terrible mistake for himself, his legacy, and for the country. He had said that he would not run again. And, you know, counterfactual narratives are always a bit tricky. But I believe if he had kept to that plan and said in, say, the late summer of 23 that he wasn't going to run, that he was going to pass, you know, the torch to the next generation, we would have had a real contest. And very sadly, I believe whoever emerged from that contest, whether it was the vice president or a governor or a senator or anybody else, would have beaten Donald Trump. So I think it was a terrible miscalculation on the part of President Biden. But once he didn't move and did not, you know, admit that he had said he was going to step aside and then decided not to, and held on for as long as he did, we were in a terrible dilemma.
Okay, hold on. Hillary Clinton, do you really think that if Joe Biden did not run in 2020, that Kamala could have run from the beginning rather than being inserted in there later after Joe Biden dropped out or couldn't continue? Do you think that she could have beat President Trump? Do you think anybody could have beaten President Trump in 2024? The reason why Biden won in 2020 is because of all the funny business going on, all the shenanigans in the background, and the fact that people knew Joe Biden from the Obama years. In 2024, there was going to be nobody who could beat Trump because people were dissatisfied with Democrats' performance. That was the underlying issue. It didn't really matter who you put in there. And also, who do you have? Who do you have? Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris. You don't really have anybody who can measure up to President Trump. That's why you lost. But, you know, it's no accountability. I don't like that, man. Be accountable. Be accountable because, you know, that's going to be the only way you can really go forward. All right. Now, we got a little bit of Iran news here. A little bit. Let me just play some of this right quick. Okay. Now, what you have is a memorandum of understanding. This was signed in Islamabad. What's this, Iraq? Anyway, let's watch this signing here. Of course, who you got right next to him? Who's right there right next to him? Bit Marco, the next the successor of the throne. I like JD Vance. I liked him on The View. He looked pretty good on The View. But I think I like Marco Rubio to become the president in 2028 over JD Vance. Personally, nothing against JD Vance though. Shout out to my Appalachian brother. Okay, Appalachia, we gonna stand together. But I like Marco.
This was not easy, I can tell you.
Now, that's Trump signing the memorandum of understanding. It's kind of like seen as the peace deal in Iran, but we're not really at the peace deal yet. And also, aside from Marco Rubio right next to him, you also have Macron, the president of France, right to Trump's left to our right on the screen. All right, there we go. So shout out to Bit Marco, the next president, hopefully. And shout out to President Trump. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. All right, we got a little bit more. All right, here is a little bit about Iran having ballistic missiles. And you have, who is that right there? Is that Howard Lutnick? And then you have Marco.
So we'll be working on a parallel effort with the Gulf nations to address non-nuclear issues such as the conventional ballistic missiles, which we'll be talking about, and support. I mean, they have to have some because other people have some. You got to have some. Somebody said you shouldn't give them one. I mean, I have guys. I like some of these guys, but I don't think they're smart. Sir, you shouldn't let them have any missile. I said, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to let Saudi Arabia have missiles, but they can't have them? Yes, sir. It doesn't work that way, you know? It doesn't work that way. And missiles aren't the problem. They hurt a little location, but they don't blow up the planet.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. We're not trying to get everything. We're trying to get just the nuclear threat, not just, you're going to blow up a building. Like, we don't want to blow up the whole globe. That's the issue. Okay, now here is, speaking about JD, here he is with Megyn Kelly on her show. Now, Megyn Kelly, I remember Megyn Kelly leaving the mainstream media only to go right back to the mainstream media. You're on SiriusXM. So is that not mainstream media? I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's watch.
Of 95 million people where, again, the president of the United States never said that his goal was to install Reza Pahlavi to become the new leader of Iran. What he said is, if the Iranian people want to rise up, great. That's their business. That's between them and their government. What we want is a cessation of their nuclear program, either through diplomatic means or through military means, as he ultimately went down that pathway. Of 95.
All right, there we go. So Reza Pahlavi was like, I guess seen as like the crown prince, but in exile, but he might not really be relevant to Iranian society as those on the outside think that he is. Okay, and again, that's JD Vance on Megyn Kelly's SiriusXM show. Let's keep going forward here. I got a little bit of time before we get to some calls. And where we gonna go to next? Okay, Juneteenth. This one right here. This video. Hey, you know what? Okay, this guy. His name is Lorenzo Sewell. Remember him? Remember Lorenzo Sewell? Okay. I saw him and it was a red flag when I first saw him. Let me, okay, that's not what I want. That's a screenshot video. Let me show you who I'm talking about. You guys may remember him from the inauguration. Hold on.
Let us pray for our 47th president. Have grateful today that you will use our 47th president so we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside.
Now, okay, I like the message, but it's a little bit too, give me $1, let me holler, and your wife, and your daughter. Bro, can you just, you know what I'm saying, get a throat lozenge or something, man? I don't want to hear that. To the mountaintop, to the sky. I don't like hooping, for real. If you like hooping, it's okay, but it's just not my cup of tea, respectfully. That's him. That's what we're talking about here, okay? Now, I saw this video on X Twitter, but it's from TikTok. I'm like, bro, you got to do better, man. Like, I know you got a show and everything. You got a radio show out there, and you got to just say some things, but you could do better than this. So he's talking about, what he said was, if you celebrate Juneteenth, you're a racist. Let me just hear his argument and tell me, maybe I'm tripping. Does his argument make any sense?
If you celebrate today, Juneteenth, I do believe you're a racist. Let me break this down because you're listening to Politics and Praise with Lorenzo Sewell. And I know this is a rough subject, Juneteenth. I have to give you all context because the demonic Democratic Party, they use black people and always have used black people as a source of misinformation. Yes, if you celebrate today, Juneteenth, I do believe you're a racist. And let me break this down because this is very important. Juneteenth, what it's supposed to represent is when slaves were notified of emancipation in Galveston, Texas. That's what it's supposed to represent. But let me ask you a question. Do you know about Anthony Johnson?
Okay, now you're going to tell a story about Anthony Johnson, a black slave owner. What does that have to do with celebrating Juneteenth? I'm going to let him finish, but that's the extent of it.
Do you know about the ruling, the landmark court case of a black man who had as another black man an indentured servant? And his servitude was up. And what did Anthony Johnson, what did he argue? He argued that that black man was his property for life. It was the first time in the American colonies that there was a court ruling that said that you could actually own someone for life. So when people talk to me about slavery, they have no context of slavery because on March 8th, 1655, the Northampton County Court ruled in favor of Anthony Johnson. The court determined that Robert Parker had most unjustly kept Casser and ordered that Casser be returned to Johnson. You hear me? This is the first legal recognition of lifelong slavery in the American colonies. Robert, you're on the air, Politics and Praise with Lorenzo Sewell.
So that was it. Now you're taking the call. So like, bro, what are you talking about? Okay, yeah, there was a black slave owner. There was more of those. It wasn't just Anthony Johnson. There was quite a few black slave owners. And it was white slaves. Although the majority was white master, black slave. But there was some that was not quite that way. But what's that got to do with Juneteenth, though? I don't understand. Hey, you know what? Today, I had a turkey sandwich. That means Juneteenth is racist. Huh? What that got to do with it? Yes, it's true I had a turkey sandwich, but how is that related to Juneteenth being racist? I don't understand. It's, bro, I know you got a talk show and you got to fill it with something, but give him more than that, bro. Don't give him that garbage you just put out there, because that ain't nothing. If you're going to say that it's racist, present an argument that makes some sense rather than just saying a factoid about something that's mildly related but not anything to do with it. Like, what are we talking about? How is that related to Juneteenth? Somebody tell me that. Maybe I'm tripping. How is having a black slave owner? Because we don't care what color you are. If you are a slave owner, we ended all of that. So if you are a black slave owner, if you are a white slave owner, it don't matter. Color's not the issue. The issue is the institution of slavery ending. Whether you are a black slave owner, a white slave owner, a black slave, a white slave, a green slave, a blue slave, it don't matter. Race is not important here. What's important is the ending of slavery. So that was just, bro, do better, man. Give them a little bit more than that. I know you got a show. You might not have the best audience, but you know, you could do better than that though. Now, okay. Speaking about doing better, I saw this video. I didn't know where to put it in my show. I try to have things that make sense transition wise. So this right here, I said, okay, I'm thinking about doing better. I'm talking about doing better and giving people more. This is going to be the super nanny, Joe Frost, talking about modern parents not doing the right things when it comes to raising their children. Okay. Now I want to show this because I see quite a bit of just weird things happening. When I go to stores a certain time of the week, kids just doing whatever you want to do. Hey, you go to Home Depot on a Sunday, kids acting the stone fool. I'm talking about running around. The parents ain't doing nothing. It's just weird. It's just weird. So let me just watch some of this. I've not seen it, but I wanted to show you with you guys just to give my 2 cents on it, and you might be able to relate to it. Check it out.
I'm going to say something that might make you uncomfortable, so sit tight. We are slowly disabling our children, and I don't say that lightly. I say that because I work with families continuously every day, and I'm seeing a pattern that's growing. Children who are capable, but not being taught. We're pushing children along on bikes instead of teaching them how to ride them. We're keeping children in strollers who should be walking, climbing, building strength. We've got 4-year-olds still using dummies when that was only ever meant to be a short-term aid. 7-year-olds who can't brush their teeth properly without an electric toothbrush. 8-year-olds who can't sit at a table and use a knife and fork. 9-year-olds who don't basically understand bathroom hygiene. And I find myself asking, when did we stop teaching these life skills? When? And before you get defensive, I understand modern life is busy. I do. But this isn't about time. It's about intention. Because every time we step in and do it for them or avoid teaching because it's slower, messier, or inconvenient, we take away an opportunity for them to become capable. And children want to feel capable. So we go back to basics, parents. We teach the bike riding with support, then without. We remove the dummy when it's no longer needed. We show them how to brush their teeth properly, not rely on this electric tool. We sit at the table and we teach them how to eat properly. We guide, we repeat, we expect. Not perfectly, consistently. Because independence isn't something that just happens. It's taught parents. And if we don't teach it, we can't be surprised when it's missing.
Very well said. We got to think about that. Very well said. Now, you have to be taught these skills by your parents or whoever's around you, the adults, when you're young. You got to get taught these skills. You got to drill it into them, because when you don't do it, the skills will never be learned. When you don't let them fail, when you don't let them try, when you just do things for them, when they don't do it properly, they never learn how to actually do it. They're always going to be at a deficit. That's going to carry on throughout their life. Now you got these adults that don't know what to do. And if we have adults who don't understand basic things about how to take care of themselves or anything like that, what are we going to do in the future? This is going to be the idiocracy generation or it's going to be a big divide between the haves and the have-nots, because the have-nots are going to be the ones who don't have proper education, don't know basic life skills, and the haves will be the ones who are educated and have life skills and can survive on their own better than those who were not given those early skills, upon which they can build other skills to get them through society. So yeah, that was very well said. Shout out to her. Yeah, that's a pacifier, right? The dummy, a pacifier. Okay, so yeah, that is, again, Joe Frost, Super Nanny. And I got a little bit more time here, so I want to play a few more things. Okay, here's a good video. I don't know who this guy is. If you guys know who he is, let me know in the comments. But the Great Replacement theory is not just about white Americans. It's about Americans, period. Americans who have been here for hundreds of years, who built this nation up. All of us are being replaced by the new class of people, many of whom are unvetted, untested. They're just bodies to replace us. Okay, let's watch this.
We got 800,000 illegal immigrants living in Houston. They've taken over all the black neighborhoods. There are no more black neighborhoods in Houston. 3rd Ward, Acres Home, Sunnyside, South Park, Cashmere Gardens, Brentwood, you name it. It's gone. All the high schools, there were predominantly African-American high schools. They're gone. They don't exist anymore. The University of Houston, you had a significant number of kids back in the day that went to the University of Houston. It's gone. Gone with the wind. Washington, D.C., Southeast D.C. is gone. Oxon Hill in Maryland, in Prince George's County, Maryland. Oxon Hill, gone. Harlem, New York, gone. Quarter of Chicago, gone. Pick a city, pick a town, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. Black communities are disappearing all over this nation, and we are under attack. And it's not by happenstance or accident, right? You're being replaced in the job market, right? You're being replaced as we speak, ladies and gentlemen.
So that was just that right there was pure wisdom, pure knowledge. Black communities being replaced all over this nation. I said this story before. Here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, there's a school called Howard downtown, historically 100% black. Now, 75% black, 50% black. These neighborhoods and these areas are being taken over by a lot of Hispanics and other new immigrants, new arrivals to the country. That's what's happening. And again, it's happening to not just black folks, but white folks, Americans. If you were here already, you could be the target of the replacement. You're working class, something like that. Hey, man, well, this guy over here, he'll do it for less than you, and he's going to show up because he has no other choice. He's not even really here legally. That's what's happening all over the country. So when they say, oh, the Great Replacement theory, that's a white nationalist talking point, it's not. It's one that's about all Americans. It doesn't matter what your color is. So, yeah, good talk right there. Shout out to him. And if you guys, again, know who that is, y'all let me know in the comments. Okay, let's keep going here. What we got? We got a little bit more time. Where do I want to go next? Okay. Oh. Now, in CVS, they got these security devices on just Big Mac snacks. You're talking about what? Some chocolate covered pretzels, yogurt covered, chocolate fudge covered pretzels, little berries, you know what I'm saying? Little snacks. When you try to get the snack, it'd be a chime that rings. And when you try to get it too much, it's going to be kind of an alarm that rings. Let's watch this. Hold on. Let's watch this, shall we?
These new security devices.
All right, and shout out to him. I think this is what Wall Street 8. Shout out to him. But wait a minute. Let's say that last little one right there. Now look, if I gotta do all of that, I'm hearing dings and whistles and bells, and what's even worse is when they locked up. If they locked up, I'm just not even going to shop right there. As a matter of fact, if I'm seeing some snacks locked up, then I know I'm in the wrong place. If the snacks locked up, the humans are locked up too. I'm in the wrong place. With the little sounds and all of that. See, this is why everybody just doing Amazon and Uber Eats and stuff like that. And by the way, I refuse to ever in my life use Uber Eats. I refuse. It could be rain, hail, sleet, snow. I'm going to go get whatever I got to get and come back with it. I would never use none of these apps. I'm just a personal, just on GP. And if I got to go through something like that, maybe I'll use an Amazon. But normally or I could just say, you know what? Maybe I've been a big enough of a big back today, and I don't even need no chocolate-infused pretzels from Hershey. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I don't need 2,000 calories of straight up garbage in my body. And that'd be that. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. I got a little bit of time before we get to the calls. And the number to call is 706-406-3287. What did I want to get to? I got one more I want to show. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. What's one last one I want to show? Okay. Amazon Prime Air. Okay, Amazon Prime Air. So this is a crazy headline. Residents in a Texas town protest Amazon's delivery drone highway. This is in Richardson, Texas.
A Texas town are protesting what they call an Amazon drone highway above their homes.
I can hear them even in my home when I'm inside with the TV on. I just wish they would relocate this drone port to a different area.
Yeah, leaders in Richardson, Texas approved Amazon Prime Air operations last year, but some homeowners claim they didn't get a heads up. An Amazon spokesperson tells NBC News they have increased flight altitudes and adjusted flight paths to reduce the impact on residential areas.
So the drones that are
now let's go back to the sign right here. See, look. You got a little sign that this lady drew, I suppose. Or maybe somebody else drew it, but it says Amazon delivery. You get the little, I like the use of depth of field, because you got the big one right here. And I guess the smaller drones are just further back behind it. So it's showing that it's in flight. That's a good touch. I like that. They go to art in me coming out. But anyway, da. Is that noises they make? Is that the drone noise that they make? And you have the sound radiating off of it. So if you got a bunch of drones in the air flying low all the time, there's going to be noise pollution for sure. And if you bought a neighborhood where it was quiet, not a whole lot going on, all of a sudden you got drones on the sky all day long, like 500 feet above you or whatever the case may be, that's going to get on your nerves. Yeah, that'll get on your nerves. I'm not really mad at it. But at the same time, when you go to the grocery store, ding, 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 and then it's locked up. So instead, people are just going to Amazon. And rather than having a delivery driver get in their vehicle and bring you your chewy snacks or whatever it is for your dog, they're going to put it in the drone and drop it right there. The drone will not get bit by a dog. The drone will not call off sick. That's called automation. So there you have it. People want some of these creature comforts and amenities, but it's going to come with a little bit of a little give and take. It's not going to be just one-sided like that. Okay. All right. Let's get to some calls. The number to call again, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And I got super chats on deck first. Then I'm going to get to the calls. Let's go here. Thank you to Dolores, who says, thank you for being here. Thank you to the white man for the American flag, thumbs up and the heart emoji. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to the white man who sent 5 ABL memberships. Appreciate you for that. White man. Thank you to Taylor Langley Fitness, who says they're having a Pride Day, quote unquote, FIFA match in Seattle next week. What's hilarious is the teams are Iran versus Egypt. That's funny. Hey, ain't going to be no Pride Day celebration. Hey, you try to do some Pride Day celebration during an Iran versus Egypt. Hey, are you going to hear, That's all you're going to hear. Okay, ain't gonna be no rainbows. The rainbow gonna be shattered with a mortar. A lot of what bar. That's all you're gonna hear. Ain't gonna be no pride. Anyway, you continue. Whoever is running FIFA is trolling hard. Yes, they are trolling hard. Pride match during Iran versus Egypt. Ain't no way. Ain't gonna happen. You're talking about two of the most anti-gay places in the whole world. No way. No way, Jose. Yeah, a lot of what bars. All you're going to hear. Thank you to Black Lake 31B who says, I don't think the water is filtered either, isn't it? Just sitting there in the sun. Yeah, it's not. It's just straight up water with a bunch of organic matter in it being pumped into it in the sun all day. You're going to have algae. That's just called, I don't know whose bright idea that was to paint the bottom of the thing blue. That wasn't going to do anything. You're not going to be able to see none of that because you got the algae. The algae is a problem. So if you're not going to be able to solve the algae problem, ain't no sense in trying to do anything. I mean, you might as well just leave it there. Thank you to Lanita who says, I missed 24-hour Walmart. I was on jury duty and they got lied about what time a store run was made. The Walmart was solved. Guilty of 4th degree CSC. What is CSC? I got to look it up now. CSC. Oh, that is sexual conduct. Criminal sexual conduct, CSC. Thank you to Lothair who says $1 trillion. Adam Schiff doesn't understand math. That wouldn't pay, the rest. Man, it's a mental evaluation. I'm with it. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says, if you're not taught, you won't learn, you won't survive. Exactly. Right on. All right, let's get to some calls here. Again, the number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And the phone lines are on as of right now. Again, 706-406-3287. 818, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. First off, I love your show. All good stuff. Forgive me, I'm still a little jet lagged right now because I just flew in from Bangkok a couple days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I wanted to say is, what I found funny is that as soon as I flew back out here, my wife and kids are still out there visiting family, and they're going to be out there all summer. But she actually called me. She's all like, and I live close to Dallas, by the way. And she called me. She's like, "Oh, did you see all the Europeans in Dallas and this and that and the other?" I was like, "No, I'm jet lagged. I'm sleeping." and so she's like telling me about the same videos that you were showing. And one of the things I wanted to point out is not only Europe and Asia is that everything's a lot smaller portions. Even when I was in Thailand, they give me a cup of coffee. I'm like, why is it so small? The thing is, everything's smaller portions out there. And, it's just one of the things that here in the U.S., we just have larger portions of everything. And seeing all that, it's kind of funny. I look at those videos, and it's no wonder that they're so surprised, because they're just going to talk about how big everything is. Even if when I was out there, when I went out drinking with my wife's friends, the largest bottle you can get is like a 1 liter bottle of alcohol, not like 1.75 or anything else like that. It's really hard to get anything bigger. But that being said, the other thing I wanted to point out here, you just at the end you're talking about the drones, and so what I found funny about that is I didn't know that about the drones, but earlier today, I'm trying to wake up, I looked outside and I saw what looked like a drone. And by the way, I'm close to I live in a quiet neighborhood, stuff like that. It's close to Richardson. I don't live in Richardson, close around those areas, stuff like that. And I saw these drones for the first time. Now, it's probably because I'm originally from LA. It doesn't bother me any. I'm used to way more background noise, but I don't think it's as loud as they say it is. But again, I'm much used to much louder background noise than people are out here. Yeah, I kind of found that interesting the first time I saw that, but I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that's all I just wanted to say, point out is just, like I said, Europeans, I think they're stoked. Everything else when it comes to portion sizes, And you know, as far as everything else goes, you know, yeah. Anyway, forgive me again. I'm a little jet lagged. Thank you, ABL. Love the show. Trying to stay up so I can normalize. So thanks again.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, the portions are much bigger over here. Even me, I go to a restaurant, the portions are like, bro, I can't even really do nothing with that. 862, you're online. Who's speaking to?
Hello?
Yes.
Thanks again.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
Shout out to the caller. This ABL?
Yeah, okay. Before we start, turn the stream off in the background, please.
I gotta make this. Pardon me, I didn't hear what you said.
All right, what's going on?
I wanted to ask you about the Karmelo stuff.
Okay.
You still believe that he was in the right or whatever? I mean, I just got into it right now. I just started watching you recently, but I'll mess with you.
Okay, yeah, my opinion is still the same.
You think he's still innocent?
My opinion is not changed.
I mean, I just got...
Turn it off in the background for me, please. You got the stream on still. Turn it off for me.
Pardon me. After all the tapes that came out and the video and everything.
I mean, you can ask me again. It's going to be the same answer. But let's ask a different question. Ask me why I think that.
All right. Why do you think what you think?
Because it's self-defense. Like, you can't attack somebody, put your hands on somebody, and then say that they just did that to you for no reason. Now, we could talk about what they're... Wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me answer you the question. Now, you can say that the response was too much. Okay. But does that mean that you get charged with first-degree murder 35 years? I don't think an overreaction to somebody attacking you is first-degree murder with 35 years in prison.
Still, his max sentence was 100 years.
Well, it shouldn't have been that much either. I mean, you got guys that are real street.
I'm saying they settled in between, and the verdict was called in 30 minutes. Well, not the verdict, but the sentence was called in quickly.
Does it mean they got it right because it was quick?
I mean, there's so much nuance to that verdict, but it's crazy. Like he stabbed the guy over nothing.
Over nothing. So okay, let me ask you this question: do you think that Karmelo Anthony just stabbed him for no reason at all? No reason at all, none whatsoever.
From the video they showed recently today that dropped, yesterday, he came into their stuff. He came into like a place that he was not welcome to.
But the question, the question, because we got time limits. The question is, do you think he stabbed him for no reason? Is yes or no?
I don't know. No, he stabbed him for no reason. Yeah,
for no reason. So he didn't get pushed. That wasn't. I didn't see that on the video.
From the court case, they were like, "Yo, like he was the aggressor," and then he acted.
Come on now, like I'm asking. Come on, but you got to ask. You got to answer specific questions now because we saw the video. I saw the same video you saw.
It was quick.
Did you see Karmelo Anthony get pushed? Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So don't say that it was for no reason because he was sitting there talking to somebody, and then somebody came up to him. And then they got into a fight.
But look, if everybody in the crowd actually leave 15 times from the courtroom, and then he don't leave, and then he's like, "Yo, I got something for you."
So wait, okay. Okay, so you think that if somebody asks you to leave who has no authority to do so, you got to leave? Is that the way it works?
As far as from what I heard from like that sport, yes.
That's not the way it works. You can't do that. We're a student. Like I'm a student, you're a student. If you want me to do something and I say no, you can't. Wait, excuse me. Because wait. Do you think that if I'm sitting somewhere as a student,
that you don't belong?
Excuse me, pardon me. Let me finish. If I'm sitting somewhere as a student and then you as a student come up to me and you say you don't belong there, do you think you have the right to put your hands on me? Can you do that? Do you think you could do that?
I don't. That you're missing a whole bunch of stuff.
I'm asking you a question though. Don't worry about nothing else. Just answer the question though. Do you think you can do that? Yes or no?
I would get to the hands, not to like a knife.
And now the question was, I'm asking one more time. Just answer the question, bro. Come on. Do you think that it's okay? Do you think you can do that? Do you think that you can put your hands on me because I'm somewhere you think I shouldn't be? Yes or no?
After asking
yes or no? Come on.
Yes.
No, you can't. You cannot do that. You want me to move. You want me to get up.
All right.
No. Listen. You want me to move. You want me to get up. You go get an adult.
Yeah.
Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell that to anybody. I don't care if you black, white, whatever. Don't put your hands on people.
You gonna stop them?
Hey man, look, I'm not going to do nothing because I know that people like you and others exist, and they're gonna get me locked up. See what I'm saying? See, no. Listen. Because I listen. Because look, stop. Let me talk. I'm a really big guy, so people who are smaller sometimes they try to test me to see what I'm gonna do, because in their mind, if I do too much, they're gonna call the cops on me. That's their mind state.
Yes.
But let's listen to what I'm saying though. Let me finish. So I'm going to avoid a lot of these confrontations. That's just me though. That does not mean what I'm going to do. Excuse me. That does not mean that it's okay for somebody to try and test me like that. You see what I'm saying? You can't do stuff like that to people. Leave people alone.
Okay. So do you think Metcalf tested him?
He put his hands on him. What you mean? That's the problem. He assaulted him first.
But you're forgoing like everything that happened beforehand.
Nothing. It don't matter. There's no justification for putting your hands on somebody.
He told them, he's like, yo, I'm not gonna fight you. This is track meet.
Okay, so what that mean? You got to go get a teacher then. If you say you're not gonna touch me,
I mean, he was being respectable, and then this guy.
Nah. See, look. If I tell you no when you ask me to move, you can't do anything but get a teacher.
With your own team, what your whole team is.
It don't matter. It don't matter. What you saying don't matter.
Yeah,
bro,
it does matter.
No, it doesn't, because just because you're there with your team don't mean you get to put your hands on me. That's not the way that works, bro. You better go get a teacher. I didn't see guys. Listen to what I'm telling you. Anybody listen to the sound of my voice. Don't listen to this advice. Don't think because this is your tent at a school, you get to put your hands on people and become a bouncer. You can't do stuff like that. You better go get a teacher. That's how you got to handle it,
right?
Huh?
The video was quick, right? The motion was quick.
Yeah, it was quick.
So, like, Karmelo Anthony reacted, out of desperation or whatever. Like, it was quick. It was like nothing over nothing.
It was something though. I mean, you think it's you think it's nothing, and that's your opinion, and it's okay to have your opinion.
From the evidence that I've gathered, from all the evidence from like the courtroom and the people on trial that were like saying stuff.
I mean, look, we all have our opinion, and it's okay.
All right, so give me your opinion on what happened, and you thought that he was.
I mean, I've already expressed myself, so there's not too much more I got to add.
Okay, I got you. I love it though. I love your opinions though.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's go. 971, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey there, ABL. This is Bug versus Windshield. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hey, you know that Karmelo Anthony, under Texas law, if you're trying to provoke a fight, then self-defense goes out the window. So all they had to prove was he was looking for a fight.
Okay, so is that what happened? Was he looking for a fight?
Yeah, that's why he brought a knife in there when he knew he wasn't supposed to. That's why he went to the opposing team's tent when he knew he wasn't supposed to. And he was asked to leave 15 times. Even the guy was saying, make me.
Okay, so let's go through everything step by step. Now, the first thing With the knife, you could say you shouldn't have had the knife there. That's fine. Because it is prohibited according to school rules. Now, as far as being under the other team's tent, from what I was able to read, he was invited by his friend. He's talking to his friend. He's sitting there talking to his friend. So who gets to say who's right and who's wrong? If I'm invited there by my friend who goes to that school, and then here somebody else comes and says, well, you can't be here, who's right and who's wrong? The way to remedy that would be to go get an adult and have them handle it. Because I don't think you're going to tell me that it's okay for somebody to put their hands on someone because they're under the wrong school's tent, are you?
But once again, he was looking for a fight.
But the question I asked you a question. Do you think it's okay for you to put your hands on someone because they're under the wrong school's tent?
Once again,
why not answer the question? Come on. See, look, bro. Look, bro. Listen. Hear me now. We're not going to do this. I need you to answer the question, because when we're not answering questions, we can't have a conversation. Okay. So I want to ask you this question respectfully. Do you think it's okay for someone to put their hands on someone for being under the wrong team's tent?
Yeah.
Oh, so you think it's okay to do that? Oh, okay. Well, I got a news flash for you. If you do that, you have started a fight. You can't do stuff like that. What you should do.
Negative.
That's what you should do. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Under Texas law, if the guy's trying to provoke a fight, your right to self-defense goes away.
How am I provoking the fight? Wait. No. How is Karmelo provoking the fight by sitting there talking to his friend? I'm sitting there minding my business. You, Austin Metcalf, approached me, but I'm provoking the fight? How?
Because he wasn't invited. Was he invited?
He was talking to his friend. He was talking to his friend right there. He was sitting down talking to his friend under the tent. Austin Metcalf came after and then was like, get out. But I'm talking to my friend. So what you need to do to mediate it, because my friend says yes, you say no. You don't get to just be the boss and no. Go get an adult to mediate rather than trying to be a big bully and put your hands on me.
That's not what the jury thought.
I mean, because they're incorrect, and it's okay. Sometimes jury things get wrong.
I think they got it right.
Well, you think
got it right,
you think that way, and I think my way, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's what makes America great.
There you go.
Oh, that one other thing about the war in Iran.
What's up?
There's no way we can trust the IRGC with anything they say. Just no way.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not too excited about any of the forthcoming peace deals or what they say, memorandum of understanding. I'm not really excited about that. Wake me up when they open up the strait and things are back to normal. But until then, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, I'll believe it 2 weeks after and there's been no fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, and plus, we all know that the IRGC has said if they ever get the hands on nuclear weapons, they will use them. They will blow up Western cities. So then once they told us that they had enough nuclear materials to make 11 nukes, we almost had to do this.
Right. That's the general consensus that I've seen.
I mean, what would you people rather have? 5,000 American deaths or 1 million?
That's it, really. That's it. So,
and millions of other people too.
Right. Not just, Americans, but all over the world. You're talking about something that could trigger a nuclear winter, and you don't want that.
No, nobody wants nukes. But yeah, that's about the long and short of it today.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Shout out to the calls. You guys have been great. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Lauren says, Mr. Anthony Logan doesn't have compassion in this because he's not a parent. If this stabbing happened to his own child, he wouldn't be saying all this. But see, there's not just one kid involved. You had 2 kids involved. You got Karmelo and Austin. You see, people say I don't have compassion, but what about Karmelo? Like he don't count because you think he did wrong. You see what I'm saying? That's just your bias. Don't try to put that on me. That's just what you think. But anyway, let's go to 859. Get online, my speaker to.
Hello, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
All right. Thank you very much for taking my phone call, man. I've been just smoking and choking and living it up, man. And how's it going? I heard something about this UFC fighter who probably was drunk. Yeah, you like those days, like when you had wrestlers just show up in the ring drunk. Screamed out an internet rumor from early 2000s. Isn't that interesting? And everybody is more concerned over an insult compared to what's happening over in the Middle East with Libya and Israel and all the dead bodies. So we all throw in a hissy fit over an internet rumor from a long time ago. And not a fan of the Obamas at all, really.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's weird because they're going off about saying Michelle Obama and they're getting offensive over that, right? They're getting offensive over that, completely ignoring the fact that our whole government's collapsing off of this BS and over this whole war conflict and stuff like that. And we're pulling out, and Israel's having a hissy fit because we're pulling out. I think if we had boots on the ground in that situation, we were in the wrong and we were pretty bad. That was a bad idea. So I think it was a horrible idea of even going there because that didn't benefit our country, brother. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, I think like the previous caller said, it's just a matter of time before we had to do something because if we didn't go and try to prevent the nuke situation, we were going to deal with it later and it would have been worse.
Yeah, I agree with you. That would have been a pretty bad idea. Especially giving them nuclear energy and stuff like that. Allegedly, they could have happened later on in the future of that happening. But I just feel like this situation would have been resolved over a Skype call and not pulled Israel in the situation because they just have internal beef. It's like the whole Ukraine and Russia thing. Teaming up with one side or the other side does not help anything.
Well, I mean, I think ultimately we got to do what's best for us and what's best for the world, but us first.
I agree with you most definitely. But even teaming up with them, I feel like that was like not the best idea. Not the best idea because they had a huge crack history, actually back in the day. They're doing the exact same kind of stuff. They would spy on us. They would backstab us. They would manipulate us. And they're supposedly the greatest ally. I mean, if they're a country that's no bigger than New Jersey. And, I mean, like, they have a right to defend themselves. And I agree with you 100% away, but their problems is not our problem. We have to worry about our country and our issues, especially about the border, especially about security, a lot of that stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm like breathing. I just got done dropping something off. Thank you very much for taking my phone call, ABL. I'm going to go ahead and do some 420, take a blinker, and take me a break. See you later, brother.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, much love to you, brother. And I saw that trillion, well, it made me roll my eyes. That one not fun, a small city, what the stuff he was talking about. See you later, brother.
All right, now. All right, great call. Let's go to 310. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Well, I'm doing better today. Man, I've been suffering for a while, but I'm feeling pretty good. So I've been having a week of regenerating my body, so I'm doing good. But yeah, man, last Sunday, the 250 President birthday celebration in the fight. My wife and I, we stayed up all night, brother. We was up to 1:30 watching the fights, and we had a real good time. You know, my big screen, and we were just enjoying myself. I never heard my wife holler so much. You know? She was hollering, boy. She's like, man, they were putting it down. You know, and it's just the whole pomp and circumstance of the whole events, all the events, even with the joke. You know, it was funny, and yet the whole atmosphere was fun. Very patriotic, you know, and as compared to what the counter protests, what they were doing with their sob stories and everything like that. And the old grannies up there singing their little fight song and everything like that. Oh man, what a joke! I tell you, the things what's going on in our country today, and then it come to find out about what the FBI found about what they was trying to do for us, like, what some people were plotting at the time of disruption on our nation, on our president, on the grounds, fellow Americans, and yet, we was able to thwart that. But it just goes to show you how evil the enemies within our borders, within our nation, those who call themselves Americans, those who've been flipped, who would give up their citizenship, trying to go ahead and disrupt and corrupt our nation, is willing to do. People, I tell you, we just need to be watchful every chance we get because, like I said, these people are ruthless. They're going after our nation. They're going after our people. They're doing things that's really trying to disrupt our nation, But I thank God that we got a president that and his cabinets are out there really watching over us. People don't understand what's really going on. We're being distracted by what's going on in the civil things, even with the Karmelo thing and everything. We all have our opinions and everything, and I don't even want to voice mine in that regard because, I can only reflect on the decisions that I had to make over my life when I caught myself in a situation of whether I was going to take somebody's life or not. And, in that moment that I caught myself in that thing, I had to say, no, I'm not willing to do this, because it could go either way. When I found myself in a situation similar, but as far as like it was just different. But I had a way of escape. In fact, I couldn't get out the house, but I was a way to get out a window. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't willing to take somebody's life like that, especially in the house with his kids and everything like that. It's just I had to find a way of escape, and I thank God that I did because, like I said, I might have taken somebody's life, or I could have lost mine. Could have went either way. But the thing about it is like, hey, I would live to see another day. I love freedom. I don't like to be incarcerated. I don't want to be sitting back thinking about what I did, because you have to have the presence of mind to think, what is it worth? Was it worth losing my life, losing my freedom? Who's going to impact? Is it going to impact just myself, or is it going to impact somebody else? And, when you're young and foolish and in youth and everything, you don't think about those things because everything is the here and now. When you're older, like I was at that time, hey, I had to think about things. I had other people, other things I was responsible for, even though I was acting foolish at that moment, but, I was foolish at that moment, but yet I had the wisdom to know that, what, it ain't worth, getting myself caught up like this. Hey, I got to find a way of escape, and I did, and there's no shade on that, brother, because, like I say, a fool would stay and you get caught up. You might be right, but hey, but you're locked down. You know what I'm saying? And I like freedom. It's nothing like freedom. The freedom to breathe your own air without somebody up there telling you what time to go to bed or not. Hey, people need to think about what they're going to do these days. Same thing about like what the nanny was talking about, these kids. You can't you got to teach these kids how to behave. That's why you got these kids running around all crazy and stuff like that. Because nobody's investing in their children. The parents aren't investing in their children. They're not teaching these kids nothing. They're not teaching them respect. They're teaching them disrespect. Why? Because they got disrespect for themselves also. No common sense, no common decency, are willing to stay and do what is right. Think about somebody else without thinking about hurting everybody. This is crazy what's going on in this world today. But like I say, we just got to just continue. Like I'm a praying man. You know that about me, ABL. And like I said, and I believe that if we continue to ask God to move on our behalf for this nation, things could turn around, things could change. It's not. Things are. It's just not like what it is. It's a spiritual battle going on, and it's really happening. But like you said, they're just more fervent, more loud, than what we are. You know, I don't have to be loud about it, but I do have to be true about it. You know, that I'm going to stand up for the truth. You know, and like I said, I'm going to love my peoples. You know, my nation, my country. I'm not wrapped up in my blackness. I'm wrapped up in my humanism. I like my country. Like I said, I had somebody give me a survey. They said, well, what nationality are you, or what race? I said, American. They said, huh? I said, yeah, I'm an American. That's it. Just quit. We're a melting pot. Like I said, we go in any other country, anywhere else, they look at you and say, that's an American. Exactly. So I don't like all this stuff, Black American, Mexican American. No, I'm an American. We're Americans. We pledge our allegiance to this country and to our God. We're Americans. Stop all that other stuff. It's just a tool of division. I'm not with it. You know, I'm not with it. You know, just, hey, you know, we just got to get to law and order and justice. That's what we need to do. But, you know, yeah, buddy, I just love coming in and chatting with you, pal. You're just my friend, man. I said, my Saturday friend and everybody in the chat. You know, I just love you guys, and I love just thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about these things. I constantly, like I said, just pray for our nation, man. Like I said, my wife and I and my aunt, we got our own little prayer chain, but I would challenge anybody else and everybody else, spend time, pray for your nation, pray for your family, pray for your children, pray for these kids. They're lost. They don't have no direction, but we have to give them direction. We have to show them the way, point them the right way, and do the right thing. Beloved, I just love you, man. I'm just going to just let you go right there because you know how I do. I just keep on going. But I love you, man. You just take care of yourself, and you just have a wonderful Sunday. Tomorrow's Father's Day to all the real fathers out there, the ones that slapping their kids around and teaching them the right way, being part of their life. Hey, happy Father's Day to you, men, and all the men that truly love their families. God bless you. God bless you all. God bless America.
Thank you for the call. Later, buddy. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, you too, sir.
All right, a great call. And shout out to you guys again. I most certainly appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I got a little bit more time. The number to call again, 706-406-3287. And again, shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best. And if y'all don't know, Friday, Atlanta, Georgia, I'll be at the FIFA fan experience at Centennial Park. I'll be there. And I might go tomorrow. We're going to see what the weather looking like. But I'm looking like I'm probably going to go tomorrow too. So yeah, I've not had a chance to go. I wanted to go this Friday, but I hurt myself a little bit. And by the way, I think I'm going to stream mostly Saturdays here. Wednesday, I don't know. We're going to see. Because I got to do a lot of traveling coming up. It might not be. I think Saturday might be the best for the stream. But we'll see how it goes. But I will be doing a lot of traveling here pretty soon. And again, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. All right. Is that right, Lauren? You could be the new sheriff in town? All right. That's all right, Lauren. Go ahead, start your channel. Hey, when you start it, let me know. I'm going to come subscribe. 901, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening, ABL. This is Lily from Tennessee.
All righty. What's going on?
First, I want to ask you, did you say this before I make a comment? Did you say you believed in aliens?
I think that there's something else out there. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. I know it was a couple of shows back I could never get in. So, that's not true.
Okay.
I don't think it's true because, okay, let me go biblical with you. Give me a minute. So, in Revelation, a lot of churches don't teach it, but Satan is going to come. He's going to be here on earth. You know that, correct?
It does say that. Yes, it does.
It does, yeah. A lot of churches don't teach it. And my thing is, okay, in Revelation, there's war in heaven, and Michael kicks Satan and his fallen angels, he got guys with him. They're going to get kicked out. So they are coming to earth. And the Bible tells us, woe to the inhabitants of earth, because he only have a little time. So if anybody else, my thinking, if anybody else is on other planets, why is he going to go? He's going to come here rather than go there. Don't they say it's little green men on Mars? Martians are little green men.
Well, I don't know where they come from.
And I'm just saying that's what, people we say here on Earth, and on Venus is supposed to be these beautiful, voluptuous women. So he's a man. Why wouldn't he go to Venus and be there with those beautiful women rather than come to Earth?
That's a little bit above my pay grade. I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay. Well, he's going to come to Earth, and he's going to God's most favorite place in the universe, Mount Zion, and where is that? Middle East? Jerusalem? That's where he's going to land. And everybody's going to think it's Jesus, and they're going to be saying that. But, that's just my thinking on why I don't think it's anybody on other planets, because why would he come here? Why don't he go there and bother them? And then I think when he comes, he's not going to be playing around and making lights blink in the sky and pop from behind a cloud and go back behind a cloud and do all of these crazy things. He want to be worshipped. When he comes, he's going to make sure everybody knows it. He's not going to play any games.
Okay, so I mean, hey, we gonna see how that whole thing plays out.
Okay, that's just my thought on why I always said it's not anybody else on the other planets, unless we go there, I presume. But I don't think anybody else is there. So that's all I wanted to say. You have a good evening, okay?
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I think that will be a wrap for me tonight. I will see you guys again next week. Let's try for next Saturday. Maybe Wednesday. It depends. I just got too much happening. But definitely next week. And I'll do the Instagram stream. I don't know. We're going to see. I got to kind of shift my focus into the interview stuff too. I got to do more of that. I can't really be slacking on that. So you guys will see more about that coming up here soon. And when I go to the fan festival, I think I'm going to do some vlogging. So you'll be able to see that kind of content as well. All right. That'll be a wrap. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Do I have any super chats I need to read here? Hold on. Let me just make sure I got everybody. I got everybody. I think I do. Okay. So thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. You know, I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that'll be a wrap for me. I got everybody here. You guys have been great. Y'all know I couldn't do it without you. I'm going to read a few comments right here. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. All right. Yeah, angels or demons, I don't know nothing about that. But we're going to see if anything just, hey, if you see something that land on Capitol Hill, beware. It might not be what you think it is. It might be something else. I think we got some things happening that we really don't understand. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have all the answers, because I don't. I know just as much as anybody else, which is not much. All right. You guys are great. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.